Hello. Hi. I'm up here. I'm also down here. Um, this is the Lego series again. And we have a special guest. Hi, buddy. Do you want to help build? No. He's just side-eyeing me. Buddy. Look at this boy. Look at that boy. So handsome. You good boy? Yeah? Alright. That's only for people that watch the VOD. Let's go, boy. Go back. Bye, bud. Okay. Let's try to straighten this out again. I got it perfect and then I messed with it. I don't know why. Anyways. Today we're watching Chris Collins, or actually I don't know if she kept her name, but we're watching Chris. So I'm gonna watch that while I build, and hopefully Gibson doesn't lay on my build.
Hey guys.
Right, buddy?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like poop. I think I caught the plague. Is that still going around?
Crap, I think I got it.
I even wore my sad Eeyore shirt because that's how I feel today. But your smile makes me feel a lot better though, if I'm being totally honest. So I appreciate that a lot. But you know what? This plague is not gonna stop me from reading people's drama. So let's get into it. Alright, first up we have, today I effed up by finding a hidden message years later. It says a hiding message, but
He's so
I'm assuming it's hidden message. We'll see. 5 years ago, there was this cute girl in my tennis club. She was very shy and would barely talk. Her best friend kept telling me that she likes me, but I never believed her. And since the girl would always avoid talking to me, I didn't even bother to make a move. We were at a summer camp making origamis. Almost read that as orgasms. Whoops. She then nervously came up to me and handed me an origami and said, "Here, I made this for you." Oh, cute.
That's
Didn't
so
think
cute.
much of it. Dude, you know how hard it is? You know how hard it is to make origami. She loves you. What? Didn't think much of it. Now, 5 years later, I still have this origami on my night desk. Oh my god, there's something written in there, and we're gonna find out, and she's gonna say that she's in love with you. I don't know. I feel like we could safely assume that. I'm going to move out in a few days. I was packing my stuff. I saw the origami on the night shelf and picked it up. I noticed a little writing on the inside of the origami. I didn't want to spoil the origami, but I eventually did. It was actually a little note. So excited, I sound like a mosquito. It said, "I really like your freckles and you're very kind." Below was her number. She gave you her freaking number in an origami swan? I don't know if it was a swan. I'm in my mind, I'm picturing a swan. Now I do feel very, very dumb. Not really because I missed the chance, but because she must have thought all this time that I ignored her, etc. We still follow each other on Instagram, but I don't know if I should hit her up. You should absolutely hit her up. Please send her a picture of the note and be like, "I just opened this for the first time."
I think she'll love that.
I just want to punch my face into a wall. I missed such a great opportunity. Should have listened to her friend. By the way, I'm 22 right now. I'm not quite sure how old she is, but I think 2021. Okay, 5 years ago, so you guys would have been like 15, 17. Oh my gosh. And now you guys are like a good age to like date, and I think that'd be good. Oh, that's so, you have to hit her up, please. I think there's an update. Please, God, there's an update. Everybody calm down.
I didn't.
Okay, here's an update. It's currently 11 o'clock. I send her a message
There
on
we go.
Instagram.
Walk-ons are on now.
She replied. We chatted for a bit, and then it was sort of awkward. I explained to her how I just found the message and that I thought it was a nice gesture. Surprisingly, she was quite excited and happy. Didn't expect that. She immediately asked me if I wanted to get coffee today around 17 o'clock.
Wow.
Oh, that's so nice. What is that, 5 o'clock? Figure out 24-hour clock. I'm not sure if I'll be able to go today. Make it work! Since I'm still at the hospital. Okay, sorry. I hope you're okay. And they're taking so long, but if I do, I'll definitely keep you guys updated on how it went.
Make it work!
Plus, never realized how much of an impact a compliment could have. Personally, I never liked my freckles since they basically cover my whole face. I love freckles. Freckles are cute. And I never met someone who liked them either. Knowing that someone thinks they look good honestly made my day. Just wanted to share. Truly though, compliments, I go out of my way. If I'm out in public or something, if I'm in the grocery store, I'm handing out compliments and genuine ones, you know, because it really does, like, I get them sometimes. It makes my whole day. Are you kidding me? Let's give out some compliments on a regular basis. Nobody doesn't like to hear a compliment, you know. There's another update 2 days later. Everybody shut up.
And sit down.
We met an hour earlier than I expected. Luckily, I got out of the hospital in time. The weather was nice, so we decided to meet at the park and bought iced coffee. While I was texting with her a few hours prior, she sounded really confident, etc. But when I met her, she was still super shy. She was very nice, but yeah, didn't talk much. A few hours in, she did start to open up a bit and get talkative. I mean, it's been 5 years. Give her a break. Get to know her a little bit. We went to an Asian restaurant, all you can eat, and damn, I must say, she really took all you can eat to another level. Girl can eat. I
What?
respect it. She understood the assignment and was out there trying every dish. I think the waitresses were on the edge of kicking us out, lol. That's really funny. Afterwards, she didn't seem shy anymore. We went over to my place, and y'all, I
What?
honestly need to shit so bad, but I can't. So relatable. Oh my gosh. So painful and relatable in both ways, mentally and physically. Anyways, we're currently watching a movie. Oh my god, you're just like sweat pouring down your face.
Hey, you mind if I go to the men's room, please?
And her head is on my shoulder. Yeah, you can't shit. Sorry, bud. Hold it in. That's a good sign, I guess. I need to put my phone away now. By the way, her best friend texted me saying, I told you, didn't I?
Oh my god, I'm so in love with this Reddit story.
I love that so much. That is so sweet. Are you kidding me? An origami
Where
note?
did I fuck
What
up?
is this? A rom-com
These are
movie?
supposed to
Oh
be
my god, I'm so
over.
happy you hit her up. You never know. There's some comments. I think they're from like the one before, but it says, hit her up and share updates, please. I want to know how it goes. Okay, they did. So that's great. 50 years later, ignoring my Reddit notifications, not seeing the advice all Redditor left for me to go for. He did wait a minute to answer, so that's pretty funny. Oh, there was an update in the comments 1 month later. Okay, it says, came from r/ on YouTube. I guess they posted this. I would love to hear any updates on this. This is the cutest
did I
thing I've
do
ever
that?
heard and want to know what happened to you, us. OP said, hi, oh, hi, what's up? We're now officially dating. And I asked her 3 days ago. Yay! Another comment says, holy shit, man, imagine they actually make a rom-com like this. We're talking about anime, right? It'll be like 2 episodes, but man, would it be a 10 out of 10? Oh, I'd watch that anime. I don't want to read anymore. This one was happy. But we're gonna read more. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not gonna read any more comments, no notes. That's adorable. I hope they get married and just live happy ever after. That made me feel better. I want to throw up like 3% less now.
That's nice.
Okay, this one sounds less nice, but you know, we're here for the tea. Am I the scallywag? Sister flirting with my husband. Oh god. Here we go. Our family constantly stays with my sister when we go to a big city for a concert. This past time,
I gotta go way back.
My sister has been married for over 15 years.
Nobody told
She
me.
doesn't work. She stays
Why didn't
home
you
and
tell
takes
me?
care of the household. Her husband is great. Edit to add that I work 40 hours per week. Okay, gotcha. My husband doesn't keep a consistent work
No.
schedule. They are both 46. I am 43.
Can I
Her
fix it
and her
without-
husband hosted us this past weekend ahead of a show. The entire time, I felt like the third wheel while she and my husband, we've been together for 12 years, shot the shit. Oh, no, dude. I was present for most conversations, and I just felt like the third wheel. At one point, she tickled my husband. Ew. I gave her a look, which she acknowledged as, you looked at me like I was the other woman. She assured me she thought he was gross and that it wasn't like that. We got into a fight before I took her to brunch because
is
I
the-
wanted to double check the address. She asked me if I was a R-word with my autistic son in the backseat and called me dumb.
Huh?
She sounds like a peach. She even went so far as saying
Who?
she would take them herself and
Wait,
leave me
where are you-
behind. My husband
No.
declined. Thank God. She asked me what was wrong. I was
What?
honest. Now she says she needs time. The name calling is outrageous. That makes me think it's a bit defensive, a little bit reactionary. Okay. Maybe projecty a little bit. I think she might have a crush of sorts, and she's a liar. I have no idea. There's not a lot of information here. I feel like you just know in your gut what the hell's going on.
Okay. Don't need
One
it.
sec. I need to answer this.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
my phone rang and I forget everything that was happening. Yeah, I feel like you just know in your gut. I feel like you just know in your gut what's happening, feel the vibes out. Seems like your husband, I mean, you know, maybe he's just being nice or whatever, but I'm glad he shut her down in like just going with her or whatever. So hopefully that's solid. But yeah, we don't have a lot of information here, not gonna lie. I don't think you are. I don't think you are for like confronting her and being like, hey, what's going on? I feel like she would just be like, oh, no. Dude, sorry, like it's not a big deal. But the way she is reacting is a bit odd, I think, to me. But let's see what the comments say. First one says, your sister has stepped over the friendly interaction line. Not the asshole. Easy fix is not to stay there. Yeah, that is the easiest fix. It's expensive to get hotels, but I don't know how far of a drive it is, or just like make the drive. I don't know. Or just not go to a lot of concerts in that town. Just like limit the interactions for now until you guys figure it out. For real, she tickled your husband. Yeah, oh God. Forgot about that already. Yeah, that's disgusting. Called you a slur with your kid in the car and then acted like you were the problem. Hard pass. I agree. Need info. You know your sister constantly puts you down, provokes you to the point of distress. Then why do you still visit her? It's her sister. I'm just kidding. I have a lot of sisters. We don't talk to each other like that at all. And we are not mean to each other, but you know, you can have sister blowouts and then be like, go to Target like the next 10 minutes after or whatever. But no, I don't agree with this, the way she's talking to her. We are trauma bonded. We were separated at ages 2 and 5 respectively. I kind of figured it was something like this. You know, I'm not a therapist
This is
anyway,
too
but
long.
there's like sometimes you just
One
put up
too
with
long.
shit
This is a
from
4 and it
family
is
because of
3.
shit you've been through. And I know that because I've done therapy. Who would have thought? And then you can apply those things and then separate yourself from people you don't actually need to talk to just because they're family. Luckily, I haven't really had to do that, which is great. But sometimes you do, and sometimes it's okay. But yeah, if my sister tickled my husband, that would be the most confusing day in the world. He would be the most confused out of anybody. It would just be a big confusing thing, and I just don't even want to think about that. It would be like, what is happening right now? So yeah, it's weird. I wouldn't stay with them anymore, and I would set some boundaries, and I definitely wouldn't stay with them as often as you do anymore, for sure. I feel like this
That
is
makes
a pretty
more
easy
sense.
open and shut case, but let me know what you think. Let's
I'm an
read one more.
idiot.
This is an interesting title. My new neighbor's parties are creeping me out. I literally can't wait for this. Let's read. I, 25 male, just moved into a duplex. Rent is affordable. It's nice to finally escape the apartment life, and I'm so excited to be able to have a garden. Ah, I love that for you. Everything has been great so far, except my neighbors, housemates, are giving me weird vibes. Yeah, because it's a duplex, housemates, gotcha. I live in one half of the house, and a couple, probably mid-30s, lives on the other side. Let's call them Arden and Andrea. Interesting name choice, but okay. I haven't met them yet, but in the week I've been here, something kind of strange has been happening.
Gibson,
2
why did
times
you run away?
they've had a bunch of people over, like 15 people. For reference, the house isn't super big to begin with, so 15 people on their side is likely a bit of a squeeze, but the weird thing is that there is zero noise from their side. Well, that's good, right? What could they be doing where their mouths are occupied? Arrest me. Call the police. All jokes aside, I'm gonna keep reading. Like, complete silence. Our walls are not thick. I hear when they vacuum, do you think 15 people hanging out would bleed through the walls, but nothing. All caps. Dude, I'd be so curious. The people they've had over look to also be in their 30s and all walk up to their door, go in, and then nothing. My God, they're literally aliens. They're having alien meetings in there. I don't know why it's creeping me out, but that's 17 people on their side of the wall and zero noise. They're in there for about an hour or so, and then they all
They're
leave.
taking a
Has anyone
nap.
had anything like this before, or have any ideas what they might be doing? I don't want to say anything because that'd be weird.
They're taking
but I
a
also
nap.
want to know
It's
what
a nap
goes
party.
on over there. Whoa, this could be one of 18 things. Okay, one. It's getting freaky in there, but they're really like quiet about it. Do they have pineapples or what is it? Is it upside down pineapples or something? I remember I walked into this hotel once and they had pineapples everywhere, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was that kind of hotel. And I was told that by my friend that I was with. They're like, oh my God, this. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I love the pineapples in here. And she was like, actually, this means this. I'm like, oh, it was oddly quiet there as well, now that I think of it. Anyway, 2, they're aliens. 3, they're aliens having freaky parties. 4, it's a chess club. 5, definitely not a book club, because a lot of yapping goes on in book club. 6, there might be the devil's lettuce maybe happening. Maybe it's a devil's lettuce party or something. No, I feel like there'd be too much like laughing and snacking. I literally don't know. My hard fact guess is aliens. But let's read some comments. Oh, there's a comment from the OP, because there's an update to this, so there isn't a lot of comments on the original one. But it said, comments by OP. I heard them having a heated discussion the other day, and that came through the wall. So surely a bunch of people having book club would too. Yes, yeah, I don't think it's a book club. I think you would hear all sorts of noise if it was book club, like laughing, wine glasses spilling, just all sorts of things. I wish I had enough friends to have a book club. Wait. Is that something that would be fun here? You guys are my friends, right? Would that be something? Wait. Where we could like read a book or something? Or like I could read a book and then like update it? No, that's probably dumb. Is there an idea there? Let's try to come up with maybe a book idea. I need to hold myself accountable to read my books, okay? Let me know down in the comments. Another comment from OP says, wow, a lot of people commented on this. For the record, I'm not trying to snoop, just politely curious what goes on with all those people in zero noise, like not even conversation. I don't think you're being a snoop at all. I'm being a snoop. Dude, the way I would drill a hole into the wall. I'm just kidding. I would not do that. I made some chocolate chip cookies and I'm going over to introduce myself and give them to them tomorrow and maybe ask if it naturally comes up, praying they don't have allergies to my gift of sustenance. Sorry, I can't read today. See, I need to read more. I think we need a book club. A bunch of people asked if there's a basement, not on my side, so I would assume not on theirs, but maybe, I don't know. Thank you for all your ideas. I'll report back if there's any more info on what it is they do. I feel like it's not very likely that there's a basement if you don't have one, because usually they're all the same, unless they dug their own, because there's some underground notary going on. Is notary a word? Probably not. See, I need to read more. Oh my God. Let's just get to the update. There's an update. August 8th, 2026. One day later. Oh my God, that was yesterday. Oh my God. Wow. Did not expect this post to get so much attention. Y'all had a bunch of ideas I hadn't thought of as to what my neighbors were doing last week. Unfortunately, I'm still, if not more confused than I was before. Damn it. You gave them the cookies. And then you found them in the trash because they're aliens and they don't eat food. I made cookies yesterday and took them over this morning to introduce myself and maybe ask what they're up to if it came up naturally. And I can say 100% there is something weird going on with the neighbors. The woman opened the door and said, hey, and my name, and that I moved in next door and offered her cookies. She looked at me for like 15 seconds without saying anything. Well, these people just don't talk. It seems like a head to toe kind of look. Oh, she went... She gave you the male street. She gave you the Devil's Wears Prada look. And then she asked if I wanted to come over on Sunday night because they're having a gathering. It's alive! You have to go, but you have to wear those glasses where you can film stuff. Oh my God, I'm scared for you. I asked what kind of gathering, and she just said to bring a notebook. Death Note? Oh. Did you guys hear my ringtone? That's my ringtone. It's Death Note. And a pen. What? They're just like taking notes on each other's appearance, or like taking notes on how they saw people acting every day and like giving each other notes in whisper. Like, this person smiled when I said this. This is how humans act because they're aliens. I asked why, and she said it's going to be fun and I'll meet new people, and just kind of smiled at me. If you don't go to this thing, honestly, I wouldn't, because it's creepy as but I think you should. I was creeped out, y'all. I said I'd have to check my schedule, and she looked like she knew I was stalling, but she hoped I could make it. And then I went back to my side of the house. Anyway, I don't know if I should go, because if it's something religious, I'm not interested. And if it's something else, I just don't want to go in blind. What should I do? What do you think it is?
Aren't you his mother?
Dude, she invited you. I feel like you can pry. You could be like, what exactly is the notebook and pen for? Like, I just want to, I want to feel like really comfortable when I come. I don't want to be like blindsided. I would totally just pry. before I go. Like, I wouldn't actually go to this thing if I was actually creeped out, because this was getting weird. But there's another freaking update from literally today. So we need to read that immediately.
August 9th, 2026, 2 days later.
Okay, guys, thank you for all your ideas and thoughts on whether I should go or not. If you missed my first 2 posts, we already saw it. So Andrea said 8, and at about 7:45, people started showing up like they did last week. I waited a few more minutes and then went over and knocked on the door with a notebook and pen she asked me to bring. A woman I didn't recognize opened the door and said, "Andrea invited me over." She introduced herself and led me inside. We walked through the living room and kitchen, which were normal. I was expecting bondage gear after y'all. I didn't read any of the comments. Sorry, maybe I should have. I'm just too excited. But a lot of people thought it was the little freaky thing. And she opened a door in the hall. Those of you wondering if they had a basement on their side were right. Did they dig it themselves? Okay. We walked down the stairs in the unfinished basement and all the people I've seen going into their house. They were milling around chatting. And there were chairs in a few rows. But the weirdest thing, what was on the walls? Dozens of posters of people, cats, dogs, and items, like missing posters and sticky notes all around them too. They're taking notes on human beings, how to act like human beings because they're aliens or skinwalkers. I'm not gonna stop saying it. Andrea came up to me and she was like, "You came, yay!" And she introduced me to her husband and I was like, "What is this?" And they told me that they run a group that tries to find missing people, pets, and items and collect the reward money. Okay, it was like almost sweet, and then it was like just to get some cash. I mean, okay, this is way better than what I thought. They're like doing service. They're doing good service and getting some money from it, which is cool, I guess. I really love the idea of having a group that gets together every single week and like looking into cases and like trying to, you know, armchair detective them a little bit, you know, within respective bounds and all that kind of stuff. But just like even local pets and that kind of thing, or having search parties to go look for people's pets or like people in general. Interesting. I was like, what? And they kept explaining, but I honestly tuned them out and was panicking more than a little bit because of all the things y'all said might be going on. This wasn't something I'd considered or prepared my mind for. I asked if they'd ever actually solved anything, and Andrea said they found a few pets and stolen items and feel like they have some leads on people. They introduced me to a few other attendees, and then the meeting, for lack of a better word, began. Whoa, what? These guys take like neighborhood watch so seriously. This is crazy. Andrea and her husband stood at the front while everyone else sat on chairs and called people up who I guess had been like assigned different cases who gave updates on their progress. Like this couple came up and talked about how they'd gone to police station to ask about a missing woman in the county and the police hadn't told them anything, like duh, why would they? And a guy got up and gave his theory on a briefcase that was stolen out of someone's car. It was so weird, but if I had gotten up and left, everyone would have seen me and I didn't want to stand out. At the end of the meeting, Andrea called me up and pulled a missing cat poster off the wall and told me it was my first case. This is wild. Put me on the case. I want to find a missing cat. Aw. I was too stunned to say anything, so I just took it and sat back down. And when the thing ended, I got the hell out of there. And now I'm writing this. So Reddit, my neighbors run a civilian bounty hunter ring out of their basement, which is why I didn't hear any noise through the walls. And I'm supposed to be looking for an orange cat named Peaches, who has a $200 reward. What the do I do? Anticipating a question, I have no idea what they do with the money they get. I do not want to hang around and dig any deeper. I guess this isn't the weirdest thing the more I think about it, but I don't want to be a member of whatever this is. I mean, that's fair. Edit, now that some of the shock has worn off, this is kind of rad, and I feel it may be my moral duty to find Peaches. Hashtag find Peach. Yeah, this is like, it's not bad. Like, they're actively, you know, trying to find people's missing stuff or pets or people. You know, probably easier to find stuff and pets than actual people. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've gone over a lot of cases where people who spend a lot of time on these cases actually come forward with something because, you know, police can only look into cases for so long and all that kind of stuff. So this is interesting. How many of these are there? It's a bit odd, but I don't know. I feel like there should be more of this. You know? Interesting. I'm so curious to see what the comments say. What do? They go out and they fucking find Peaches. OP said, this feels like it will turn into a 70-parter, and OP accidentally stumbled onto a drug cartel murder mystery in search
up?
for Peaches.
You back?
Yeah, like
Are you
you're trying to
having
look for a
dinner?
cat, and then you just stumble on like a different case. It's like Todd's case, and he's like, what are you doing? That's my case. And I'm like, this is so, it's like a little like police precinct in the basement of these people's duplex. So interesting. Pretty sure this is how a decent amount of paranormal women's fictions novels start. I also need to know about Peaches though. Oh my goodness. Person says, you know what? I would join. I am crazy. Lol. Yeah, I feel like, you know, to have a little case to work on if you're not doing anything else, just really don't see the harm in that. Again, if you're being respectful of everything. Grateful Doe is a group on Reddit that tries to match missing person cases to unclaimed unknown bodies. There have been successes. Yeah, internet is a wild place, and it's been wonderful for a lot of cold cases. So that's interesting. I'm gonna look into Grateful Doe. Bold choice to write a post about your civilian bounty hunter neighbors and not realize they are going to find it within about 5 minutes due to their expert sleuthing skills. Their bold idea to search for missing persons was to ask the police to tell them about an open investigation. Sherlock Holmes, these people are not. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I was just like, are these people like fit to do this? Maybe not, but are they hurting anybody in doing this? Doesn't seem like it. So it's like, okay. To be fair, Sherlock often starts by talking to the police. To be even fairer, OP says, Sherlock is a police consultant. They call him more often than not. So the neighbor already knew he was coming after the first post. True. They do know stuff. So they are like suburban Scooby-Doo. Well, that's way better than Aliens. Way better than Aliens. Interesting. What do you guys think? Would you join? I think I would. Maybe I'd go like once a month or something. That's a lot to commit to once a week. But no, I think that's really interesting. Huh. I'm just as shocked. I was not expecting that. I don't know what to do with that information, but I don't think it's terrible. I do not think it's terrible, but let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna go. My tummy hurts. My tummy hurts really bad. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna head out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day and you don't catch the plague. Okay? Bye.
Trapped myself.
Hey everybody, we're back with a guest again, because honestly, it's me. Because honestly, it's more fun to do it with another person instead of talking to myself like I'm a crazy person. So we have Jessica back. She's my sister.
Hello.
Obviously, she looks somewhat like me. I don't think we
Little
look exactly alike, but a lot of people are like, oh my god, you guys are like twins.
I mean, I've seen some things where, like, I've seen side-by-sides of us when we have, like, the exact same hairstyle, same makeup, and I'm like, okay, I see it. But not
Yeah.
twins, just sisters. I get
Yeah,
it.
like if you see a picture of me next to my mom at my age, I look exactly like her, and Jessica next to our dad. And like a good, he was like a pretty man. He was very like Fabio looking guy.
But,
And
like,
he had
have
like
you ever seen
long
those-
blonde hair too.
Have you ever seen those memes where it's like, oh, you look just like your dad, and it's just like this.
Yeah, it's like,
I look exactly like him, down to like just everything. I think even the same forehead. No Botox
oh,
here,
I
people.
have that too.
Maybe later.
Let me open the curtain.
I should start making him pay for it. Dad, you gave me so many wrinkles in my.
Right?
I
know.
know.
I got those wrinkles too. It's fine. Anyway, we are doing Reddit again. We are reading Reddit again because I thought that'd be fun. Honestly, to be totally honest, I've been feeling good the past
I know.
few weeks. I think I got the plague.
I'm
And
sorry. That sucks.
it is what it is, but it's fine. This is like nice, easy, chill. We can
Yeah.
just hang out and talk crap. So let's get into it. Let's take a quick pause to talk about something pretty cool that I did. I just published a cookbook. Yes, that's right, a cookbook, okay, of sorts, with Hungry Root, and I named it Call Me Chris Cooks, which is a pretty self-explanatory title, but it's all the good stuff, kept simple, real protein, actual flavor, none of the 12-step nonsense. Most of this is done before I'd even find a restaurant or anything, like on one of those apps. The seared beef short rib with the easy cleanup garlic potatoes, which is one I make when I want to feel like I have my life together, because you can do it all in one pan, which is awesome. Then there's the honey garlic beef and jasmine rice, Korean barbecue chicken, and the Southwestern chicken bowl. And for the nights I'm pretending to be a wellness influencer, I have roasted salmon with sweet potato and Brussels, or the tzatziki chicken power bowl. And both are delicious. And neither really takes much effort. And these 3 ingredients live in my kitchen permanently: the seasoned jasmine rice, the grass-fed sirloin, and the sweet potato you can just microwave, because I do not have time to wait 45 minutes for a sweet potato to bake in the oven. Okay, and snacks are in the Hungry Root box too, and I love me some snacks. We have these, and even ones that I like to hide from my husband, like this delicious dark chocolate bar. But I'll reach for these when dinner is feeling a bit theoretical, you know what I mean? But Call Me Chris Cooks lives on Hungry Root, so go steal all of it now. Thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring the video and supporting the channel, and let's get back to it. Jessica, give him a compliment.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? Compliment for you guys. I'm so proud of the way you're going to approach this year in September. September always feels like a brand new, fresh start because, you know, I was a teacher, my husband's a teacher. There's just going back to school and everything. And it's kind of like that mid-year fresh start. And I think you all are going to approach it with a really good attitude and great smiles and spooky season and Christmas, and we're just gonna live it up during the seasonal depression time. You know?
Yeah. That's wow.
I get
that's
that.
awesome.
I get that, and I think you guys are gonna be great.
Hell
It's gonna
yeah.
be great. Yeah,
It's way
so there's
better
your
than my
compliment.
compliments.
I'm sure all of you have amazing eyelashes, unlike mine. But
Yeah, we have bad eyelashes.
I seriously just stand there with the eyelash curler.
Please help.
Oh, and it's gone. Okay.
All right.
Anyways, that's all I got.
I got a bit of a barrage of different kinds of Reddit stories. First is,
I
am
can
I
imagine.
overreacting? Am I overreacting? Have you heard that before?
No.
You overreact.
Oh, yeah.
I overreact.
Oh.
I
I
always
think we'll be good for
overreact.
this. Yeah, we're pretty overreacty people.
I'm getting better.
I'm just
but
kidding.
no, I always overreact.
I'm just joshing. Yeah, I think we've both gotten better. I tend
Savage.
to overreact a little bit sometimes. The title is "Am I Overreacting?" I contacted the woman in my husband's phone.
So far, no.
Nope. You're fighting with me. Hi, everyone. I, 21 female, recently discovered a suspicious contact in my husband's 23 male phone and decided to contact her. This is a bit of a story, so bear with me. All right. So they're 21 and 23. They're babies.
I was gonna
Not
say.
that gives excuse to anything, but that's just
No. just
relevant, I
babies.
feel like. It started a few months ago. The shady phone business. Lock screening when I'm around, not allowing me on it anymore. You get the gist. About a month ago,
What?
we were running errands in a different town, and because we were nearby, we decided to pop by his grandparents' house for a visit. He called a contact named Grandma, and a different woman picked up. At
Wow.
first, I would have assumed a potential PSW. PSW. I'm too old for this. I need to look it
PS
up.
point.
Personal support worker? Is that right?
Oh,
That
like
might
of
not
the
right.
grandma. Of the grandma, maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Okay, maybe, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just down. That's not even like a Gen Z thing. That's just like a normal. Now I know. Assumed it was a potential PSW or some sort of helper. Oh, there you go. I should have just read a little further. Despite them having no present issues, however, my husband reacted very weirdly / shocked and ended the call immediately without responding to the woman. All she had said was, "Hello?" Then he got weird with me, asking me, "Who the fuck was that?" and saying, "That was so weird. I have no idea who that was." Who the fuck was that? It was so weird. I have no idea. He couldn't be more suspicious. I shrugged it off, making a mental note to check it out later. On, but not to ruin the day we were having. I searched his messages. I didn't find anything. I didn't dig far though. Yesterday we were traveling. He asked me for GPS directions on his phone, and I saw that same contact in his recently searched, like in that taskbar search on iPhone that automatically bring up an app or contact. I inquired, asking if he figured out who that contact was. He said no. I then questioned, why does it show you contacted them recently? And he freaked out on me. Oh, projection. Like he actually lost it. He was yelling, demanding that I show him where it says that, insisting that he hadn't. His defensiveness is a
Wow.
huge red flag to me. It's
Yeah.
usually a telltale sign. I asked him, so when we get to X place, you're okay with me calling that contact? He got even more mad, but agreed nonetheless. When we arrived, I phoned the number off his phone, and it rung until voicemail. What struck me was that there was no voicemail intro, no identifier, just the immediate beep to leave a message. I called the number this morning off of my own phone, and she picked up. She refused to give me her name, even after I explained the situation that I found her contact in my husband's phone. She insists that she has been married for 20 years. Oh my God, is he seeing like a 40-year-old? That's crazy. And has never met my husband. However, like I said, she was really rude and wouldn't even introduce herself after I spoke. It was super brief, 5-minute call. She hung up on me after I apologized for calling. I found this really off-putting
two
for
more.
them both to respond with aggressive defense. I tried reasoning by thinking maybe hubby typed his grandma's number wrong. Maybe it's only 1 digit off. But then I'm thinking that I've witnessed him contact her before, so where did the old contact go? I'm thinking of going through the phone deeper, but I'm worried that I may be overreacting.
No.
Initial thoughts,
No, that defensive
Yay.
behavior is a huge red flag.
right?
Oh, I'd take his phone immediately.
I know you've been through shitty relationships kind of like this, but have you been like in a moment like this? Like with like shady phone business? Because I have not through like shady phone stuff anyway.
I'm trying to think back. I really don't.
Although we weren't really like, we had cell phones, I guess, in like
We
late
did
high
have
school,
cell phones.
but
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was just kind of like just the day and age. No phone stuff really. I didn't really
No.
get nervous with like the phone stuff. It was always like
MSN,
parties.
Facebook.
No, honestly, it was like parties that I wasn't at kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I was too busy to go. Like because my relationships were in high school, so it was just like
Yeah.
I was busy doing my sports. So if I couldn't go to a party or something like that, that's when I was like, "What went down?" Is one of those.
That's
So
fair.
no, I don't know about the
fair.
phone stuff, but if I was thinking about it right now with like my husband, if that was the case and he got really defensive, immediately I would just take his phone and be like, "No, we're just gonna get to the bottom of this
Yeah, absolutely.
right now."
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've gone through my husband's phones for a really long time because he gives no signs of that.
No, I've never gone through mine.
I'm just gonna find golf.
Phone.
It's just gonna be all golf stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think she's overreacting at all. Absolutely not.
No, at this point, I don't think so either. I think she has every single right to be able to look through his phone and like whenever she wants. And I feel like something is going on. I don't know what, but I feel like something's going on. And if it's not, then shame on me. But there is an edit / update. So thank you for all the responses. I'm on board here and we'll be digging deeper into this. If this turns out the way we suspect, I will be leaving him. Good for you. I've managed to find out that she lives in my town. That's all so far. I've checked out most / all of the sites recommended. Unfortunately, they're all USA ones, and I'm in Canada. We probably know her. Everybody knows everybody up there. Just kidding, we don't. I'll still be checking other options out, and I'm still taking all of your ideas / advice. I ended up confirming his actual grandmother's phone number, which is completely different from the one at hand. Eliminating the accidental misinput idea. He knows that I'm investigating this further, but I don't intend on telling him anything going forward. That's good. Yeah, you guys are married. I mean, you guys are young, so you guys, I don't know what kind of assets y'all got or anything like that, but you should be keeping, like, sending yourself stuff, keeping all the evidence, because this is...
Buckle up, sister.
It could be bad. Could be bad. There's more, though. Let's read some comments. Here's the perspective of the woman who was once called. I was in a relationship for a year with a man who told me he was single until his girlfriend of 10 years that he was living with called me. I told her, ask me anything. I will tell you everything. That SOB, son of a bitch, couldn't tell me he had a girlfriend. I'm not going to defend us. She found our deleted texts in the deleted text section of his phone. I think that goes back 10 days. I sent her more. I also told her to look back in his Cash App because we used to casually bet $5 on football games, and he sent me some money for Christmas lights. She was so sweet. I love her and consider her a friend now. I'll always be a girl's girl and have her back. See, that's how you should respond.
Absolutely.
That's how you should respond.
Absolutely. Man, if my sons... Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'd be giving them a talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Another person says, check the phone bill for his phone. It should have info on call and text history. If you find stuff, leave him. OP said, we have separate phone plans / bills. I'd have to hardcore invade his financial privacy to do that. Though I'll keep it noted as an idea if needed. I can probably just bring it to his attention too. Like, I'd like to go through the bill to figure this out. 4 days later, another update. Hold on to your panties. My last update got removed. Oh. So hopefully this one manages. I'll keep it short and I'll try to keep it AIO2. What does that mean?
AIO2.
I'll try to keep it AIO2.
Is it L? A little... Is it
don't
L or is it
know.
I?
All in one.
Okay.
Thanks. I traced that number to a burner phone in my town. There's absolutely nothing else attached to the phone number. That being said, I decided to dig further into this woman. Thank you to everyone who gave suggestions on how to do this, and also to everyone who offered help. She just isn't my business any further than this. Now, I didn't discover if he'd been seeing her, but this did lead me to investigate further after talking with him. I first asked him to be open and transparent if he's doing anything behind my back. He denied and promised me he isn't. I then went through his phone. Finally, for everyone who misread my last post, this is the first time I snooped without his permission. I can barely believe it, but I found multiple other women and multiple website logins. I'll keep that brief so my post isn't removed. So it was nasty sites. I'm heartbroken. I'm destroyed. I confronted him and he denied it. When I showed proof, he broke and admitted this had all been going on for 2 years. 2 years. I'm still not sure what my next step is, but I had a calm talk with him expressing that this could not be repaired and that I'm done. He is sleeping on the couch. Would it be dramatic / overreacting to straight up ask him to leave for a bit?
No.
No. What?
Get out.
Get the hell out, you perv.
Out you go.
Like spend a night or two with his friends or side chicks. Lol. I need to pack my things and clear my head. Additionally, I'm the caretaker of the house and animals and he has the car. So this makes more sense than me leaving for a bit. I need to pack my things. I'm already speaking with my lawyer. Good for you.
That's
Smart.
not overreacting, sis.
No.
Out he goes. I'm
My
taking
gosh.
the damn dog.
I just watched that. I just watched Legally Blonde 1 and Legally Blonde 2 yesterday. I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
That's it.
So
I'm not
good.
going to try. We're going to leave it
Try
at
it.
yours.
You can do
it
it
again.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass. See,
That's pretty good.
I can't. I can't. I can't.
Turns into Sean Connery. I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I am so bad at accents or impersonations.
Nah,
It's
it's fine.
all of the impersonations.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah,
Impression.
that's good. I mean, it's not good. It's terrible. I'm really sorry, but I'm glad you figured it out now. Like,
Especially at the age of, what was she, 21?
yeah, she's 21. I think he's 23.
21?
Yeah.
Yeah. Out you go, bud.
I think, but yeah, if your partner gets really defensive with their phone, man,
Oh, yeah.
look into it.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, how would that even, like, even if I wanted to be sneaky, like, I always give my phone to my kids.
Yeah. I was watching.
Like, not, obviously, they don't play with my phone, but, like, sorry, they don't play games on my phone. They just, like, the camera app's up or something's going around
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, just stuff that could, I don't know. I don't know.
I was watching this divorce lawyer talk.
Oh, is it that,
and,
like
what-
that older guy? Slick back hair a little bit?
Sexton,
Yeah.
or whatever his
Yeah.
name is. Yeah, he's awesome. But he was talking about, it's like one of the number one things nowadays where people get caught is on iPads, like kids' iPads, because everything like goes into the cloud and it's makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes
So,
sense.
I hope nobody's
Totally.
watching this that just like took notes from that and they're like, okay, good.
Well, if you took notes, that's
Or
done.
go look at your
because-
iPad right now if you're thinking
Oh, that's
something's
what you
going
mean.
on.
That is interesting.
All right, well, let me know what you guys think. Let's move on. We're gonna change course here. We're gonna go to the Am I a Scallywag, and it's Am I the Scallywag for refusing to return a lost dog that was clearly well loved.
Ooh, I was
If
going to say, oh, was it abandoned? Was it
somebody-
beaten?
If somebody took
Clearly.
one of my dogs and just didn't give it back, murder.
Yeah.
Like if somebody took Kevin and was like, I'm just gonna keep him, and I found out about it, I would bring the law in. I don't know how that works. But I feel like we're gonna find out. About 7 months ago, a friend found a dog near her house. I took her in and called animal control. They said to bring her in to look for a microchip. She was underweight with dirty fur. AC couldn't find a microchip, so they said I could hold on to her for a week and they would list her on their website, and if nobody claimed her, I could adopt her. So that's exactly what happened. Okay, so as far as we know, she's underweight, she's dirty fur, there's no microchip. Okay. My dog now has shiny fur and is very healthy. She is polite and walks well on a leash. She does lots of tricks. I have depression and anxiety, and she's my support animal. She's honestly the light of my life. Last month, I joined a Facebook group for the same unusual pure breed that my dog is. I posted a picture of her in the group. A woman was tagged, and a few hours later, she DMs me. She said my dog was her dog, and she was so thankful I found her and wanted to arrange to come get her. She offered to pay me for taking good care of her. Okay, when people lose dogs, also, not every dog is microchipped, but when people lose dogs, I mean, it could be weeks. That dog could have just been out and starving
Yeah.
and dirty. So that makes
Yeah.
sense. If I got that
Yeah.
message, I'd be like, oh my God, of course, immediately. I thought she was trying to scam me since she lived across the country. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
But when I looked into it, I found her Instagram with a lot of dog pictures and videos. My dog has very unique markings, so it was unmistakably the same dog as the one in her pictures. My dog is a
Okay.
show champion and had a lot of training to do obedience, agility, and a few others I've never heard of. She has a lot of fancy titles too. Was clearly well cared for, well trained, and well loved. I don't want to read anymore because the title, okay. She said her house caught fire last year and she lost everything, including my dog. It's not your dog who ran away. Her dog that ran away. Nobody knows how she traveled so far or what happened between when she got lost and when my friend found her. Across, like, no wonder it's so skinny and dirty and everything. Oh my God, that's terrible. And that dog probably traveled so much being a show dog. And that dog was probably so much money and she spent so much money on that dog. Oh my gosh. She never stopped looking for my dog. Her dog.
Stop.
I'm going to have an aneurysm.
It's not. It's gonna be okay. Okay. It's her dog, the other person's dog.
But I'm gonna read it how it says it. She even had a video of my dog, a super cute puppy, getting a microchip. No idea why the shelter and my vet couldn't find it, but my dog had one at some point. Why is she saying my dog so much? Here's the part where I might be the asshole. I told the woman I appreciated the great job she did with my dog for the first few years of her life. She's 5, and I was sorry to hear about her circumstances, but I couldn't give up my beloved girl. She's my support animal, so I'm not even sure how I could live without her. I gotta go back. How long has she had this dog? Not that it would matter literally at all.
What? So she's just.
It sounds like she's only had her for like weeks, max months, maybe.
Wasn't there like 7 months ago?
Oh, true. Wait, where did it say that?
Was it at the beginning?
About 7 months ago, a friend found a dog. Okay, that good call.
Okay.
I totally.
So then-
she's saying the first few years of her life, she's like only had her for, a handful of months. This is insane.
I just keep thinking about that poor lady that's like
Lost her
"Get my
house in a
dog
house fire,
back."
and then you take her fucking dog. Anyway, I'll keep reading. I told the woman I appreciated the great job she did with my dog the first few years of her life. She's 5, and I was sorry to hear about her circumstances, but I couldn't give up my beloved girl. She's my support animal, so I'm not even sure I could live without her. I offered to send her pictures regularly, but she turned really nasty. I got tons of hateful messages from people I don't even know. I had panic attacks whenever I got notifications because her friends acted like it's my fault. I didn't choose for this special dog to change my life so much any more than I chose for my dog to get lost. You mean her dog to get lost? Because it was her dog when it got lost. I ultimately blocked her because she wouldn't leave me alone, the way I would call the police. Since she was listed with the shelter for the hold period and no microchip was found, I've adopted her and she's mine. I'm legally in the right, but am I morally wrong?
Yep.
Mm.
Yep, you
I
are.
know she loves my dog and wants her back, but I can't picture life without her. Not one where I'm happy anyway. If I could clone my dog
Hi,
and give this chick
Mom.
one, I would. Your
No.
opinion doesn't matter because it's not your dog. I understand finding an animal.
I'm watching a video of people pissing me off.
And getting to know it and being like so in love with it. But then, this happens.
No.
Sure, I get it. It's heartbreaking. Not to mention this dog was clearly because the actual owner trained the fuck out of this dog, and it's
Yeah.
probably the best dog you've ever come across. But it doesn't matter. This is morally so wrong. Like, you are going to hell for this. I'm being
I
too
would-
much.
Building
This
is
is too much.
good, actually.
I'm just
No,
picturing Kevin.
it's
I'm
not.
just
We're out of
picturing somebody
focus.
taking Kevin.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to say
I've
what I
never
would do.
had my own dog.
Hello,
I've never
camera.
had my own dog. I've had a family dog.
We've
Okay.
had
And
family
if this,
dogs, yeah.
There.
if this happened to
Is it out of focus
Charlie,
or am I just
Bear,
blind?
or Max,
I'm just
the
blind.
way I would
Alright.
hunt this lady
Okay.
down and
Oh, yeah.
steal the dog back.
I don't
in
have
the
my
night,
glasses
fully
on. They're in my
would.
car.
Yeah.
Because I don't
Absolutely
usually
would.
need them.
And then light her
So-
house on fire. Just kidding. That's a lot.
Whatever.
That's a lot.
I mean, how would you figure out where this chick lived? I don't know. I mean, we could figure it out.
Yeah, you got Facebook. You can figure it out. You can hire
Yeah.
a PI. They'd find him immediately
Exactly. I would definitely steal this dog back in the night
in the night.
for sure.
I would.
In the
I would
night.
make a spectacle of it. I'd make her go on the news. And
Ooh.
like I would go to the press.
There you go.
I
There you
would
go.
make
Now
a
you're thinking.
spectacle of this person. No, I just I think this person's evil. I think they're not well, which sucks, but that doesn't mean you can steal other people's dogs.
No.
Once you
Scallywag is
found out
not a
that
good
you-
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and scallywag is not a
Yeah.
a good enough term for
Yeah.
this this character.
It's not bad to take a dog in if it's lost and it just
Nope.
doesn't, there's no microchip and all that stuff. That's wonderful. Great.
But you found the owner.
Found the owner because it's not your dog. And yeah, you are an asshole to the nth degree. Let's see what other people
Yes.
said though. Maybe I'm being a bit dramatic. Oh no, verdict overwhelmingly asshole. Thank God.
Yes.
The top
Yes.
comment from the original post, because there is an update, thank God. Though it's incredibly difficult, you're the asshole. It's not your dog. You just thought it was. Put yourself in her shoes. Give the dog back. Another person, you're the asshole and you know it. She had and loved that dog for years while you've only had the dog for 7 months. Another person said, so massively you're the asshole, and 7 months as a unofficial therapy dog doesn't mean anything compared to 5 years from a pup and a loss after a fire. I have an otter hound, very rare and unusual breed, less than 800 worldwide. This post has my blood boiling. If the breed was unusual, I'm angry there wasn't any effort done by the shelter or OP in asking breed groups about a found dog. If someone found an otter hound and kept it and posted it on the breed's Facebook page, everyone in the group would immediately actively work to find and reconnect the original owner. And it sounds like that's exactly what happened. OP needed to do more due diligence trying to find the previous owner, instead did bare minimum and then got upset when they were busted while trying to brag online about their new cool dog. Crazy. There's an update. Thank God, 15 days later. My previous post got unexpectedly massive response. I got thousands of messages, most which weren't kind, and many outright threatened to harm me. People shouldn't try to harm someone because
No,
of that.
not harm.
Yeah.
Obviously not. But I'm just meaning like the whole negative.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to
I don't
happen?
have the
It wasn't
attention
easy,
span.
but I read every single comment and message. The shelter
I don't know
let
if you're
me
still
foster
here,
my
but
dog for the stray hold when
that's
they
why I
couldn't
have
find
this
a
playing in the
check. They were
background.
pretty full, and it kept her out of a cage. I would have happily given her back if she was claimed then. When nobody did, I took her to be spayed and signed adoption papers. Oh, you got her spayed. I mean, at that point, I get it. You didn't.
Of
know
course
at
I'm
that
still
point,
here.
but that's better for
Yay!
me. I'm sure that person probably didn't want
Hello,
to get
you.
spayed. Whatever. That's besides the point because she
Oh,
didn't know at that
got
point.
it.
You don't
Right.
see her breed a lot, but it's not rare. I won't say what breed, but not a retriever or equally common. The shelter had her listed as the right breed. I learned unique markings aren't always so unique. I've since found 2 other dogs that could be her twin. I compared her to the pics of the woman's dog again. Her dog's face is what made me think they're the same, but my dog has a tiny bit of white on one of her toes that the other dog doesn't. Also, dogs start going gray in age.
I was
About
gonna say,
5 years old. Kevin's whole face is different now. He's
Yeah.
7, but he started to go completely white on his face. So 2 days after making the last post, I took her to the vet. The vet said fur color can be affected if the skin and hair follicles are damaged. She didn't have a toe injury when she was found, so she was probably born that way. The vet scanned her whole body and took x-rays because it was eating me not to know. No microchip anywhere. Listen, if this ends up not being the dog, I will say sorry. But
That is a different.
but
that is
also
a different story.
not because
Hunting pals.
thought it was,
Oh,
you still
oh.
didn't
and you
give it
still
back.
said no. You're
I
still
was
an
so
asshole, but I will
confused
take
what
back
you were
some of what I
talking
said if this
about
doesn't
for a
end up being the-
second.
We'll see. The vet said they can fall out, but it's super rare.
I was like,
Oh,
why are
shit.
you doing
Okay. Her
that?
teeth are very white, so the vet thinks she's 2 or
Oh,
3.
that's-
I said she was 5 because that's how old the woman said her
Nice.
lost dog
Hi-
was. And initially,
nice.
I did think they were the same. She doesn't know special commands like the woman's dog in her video.
Oh,
She
Hydra,
walks
is that
nice,
you?
sits,
I can
comes,
barely
but
read,
won't pick
but
stuff
hi.
up or other
I
commands.
should probably
her
pull
dog
it up
knew.
on my
I mean,
phone.
that's not uncommon for dogs to literally lose
I
that
am.
ability to do that stuff. My therapist and
Yeah.
I talked about my selfish response to the stress.
How
and
are
I'd
you?
like
What
to
are
react
you
in the
building? I
future.
am building
We
the
explored what my life would look
1960s
like if I gave my
Batmobile.
dog up and talked about my support
I've
people and
built
coping
most
skills
of it
because isn't
before,
fair
but
for
I
my
left it
dog to
and
be
a lot
my
of
only
pieces broke
support.
off.
I unblocked
So
the woman to
I had
say
to
I
restart.
want what's best for the dog, but she's not unhappy and loves her life with me. I offered to send in my dog's DNA to compare her dog's DNA. She said she didn't have her dogs to compare. I suggested she
Yay.
ask the breeder for relatives' DNA. She said that wasn't an option. I said I'm uncomfortable giving my dog up if we aren't 100% sure our dogs are the same dog. She was angry and still thinks they're the same despite the evidence. I consulted with an animal lawyer who's an animal lawyer? Interesting. Who said
Huh.
my case is strong since I adopted legally. The shelter followed protocol. There's no microchip, reasonable doubt in markings and age, and the woman won't provide DNA of her dog or a relative. There are a lot of
Ah.
similarities, but a lot of differences too. I'll return her if DNA confirms a match, but until then, she stays with me. She needs stability, and I won't give her away on coincidence alone. I doubt I'll give any more updates, but thanks to everyone who helped me
Oh, that's so weird.
prioritize the dog in this mess. That went
You said
completely
19, I
different than what
thought
I thought it
old,
would go.
what?
Now I feel like a bitch.
No,
I
because
don't know.
No, we were going off of
Old
just,
what?
Her reaction to that
yes.
happening
What are you
was
now
crazy.
It's looks
gotta
like
turn
her
up my mic.
therapist
What are you
did a good
talking
job.
about?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, at least
and,
she's willing to
you know,
work on herself. That's good.
And good on
Because
her, good
1960,
for her.
yeah, it's old
I
as
feel like
hell.
I get
it is
it.
But it's
weird
sick
that
as hell.
the
I'll show you the
lady
box.
Doesn't have, because if you have like a purebred or like
I mean, she could have lost it in a house fire.
This is
yeah,
the
but
box.
with relatives,
But the relatives.
Classic.
That's pretty common.
Classic.
Like we always had like some sort of like mutts or whatever.
Yeah.
But
The rest of the
Debbie was
Legos are in there. I'm up to
a
like
purebred golden
like,
retriever
the-
because we
Right.
had somebody that we knew.
These
that
aren't
did
even
it
all the-
ethically and everything. But
these
we
are
know
not
her
all the Legos.
parents-
This is just
we
all
know
the
her
Legos that I
parents.
had
She's not like a show dog or anything. So
on
I think that's
this.
A little odd.
I was like
feel
halfway
like
done,
there's
maybe.
no-
Maybe she got that dog off like some
So
I don't know.
black market breeder. Or
that's
something,
why
so
if you
she can't-
see
But it's weird because she had
connect.
the
all those show
individual
dog videos and
things,
everything.
I don't
It's
have
like,
I
those.
don't know.
Interesting.
I have Ziploc
Oh,
bags.
I don't know enough
okay.
about it. But
So
yeah, I don't like how you reacted,
Okay.
but I like that you went to therapy and you're figuring it out. And you did now do your due diligence. That's good. Because
you a
it sounds
bit.
like you are at least treating the dog good. Great.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what the comments say because they probably know more about this shit than I do. Comments say, if this dog actually was a show dog, it would be no issue to find relatives' DNA to confirm.
Yeah,
it would
that's
be
fine.
well documented. I have met many
Ah.
dogs that could have been my
True.
dog's twin. It's not unusual to
true.
find similar coat markings. The person
Mm-hmm.
claiming it's their lost dog is also very far away. Not likely a chip would have fallen out. Dog
Yeah.
doesn't know the same commands, and show dogs are well trained and would likely not forget commands. I think it's
Yeah.
not actually that lady's dog. Also, it being across the country is like
It is
like
very
what are we
highly
talking? Was it
unlikely.
like
Homeward bound.
Texas to like the East Coast, or are we talking like California, New York? Because that is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Maybe this
Yeah.
maybe this lady's just so desperate to get her dog back after she lost her freaking house, and she sees this dog that looks almost exactly like hers, and then I feel really bad for her. But also
I
that's
feel really
that's
bad for
shady
her.
that she wouldn't be willing to do that. I don't know.
Maybe
this is
she's
weird.
just she's grieving, and she's just
yeah.
holding on to any sort of hope. I don't know, because you do want to make sure that a dog would go back to a very loving home. But it's
Yes.
like, would I have
totally
been
random.
like,
But if you're
"Oh,
okay,
clearly
what?
this dog needs to be with this lady, even if
Yeah.
it wasn't her dog.
Looks like
I
a
don't know if I'd
Ghostbuster
give it-
vehicle. You're
Yes.
insane.
That's tough. Yeah,
It is
I
tough.
mean,
What
I
socks
think
am
I
I
would've,
wearing?
Looked into it more. I would've said
Pumas.
no.
No.
Immediately.
But
no.
stop
I
looking
would've
at my
just said,
feet,
"Oh
you
my gosh,
absolute
that's wild.
freak."
Like, let's figure it out. You know, you
Got
wanna
'em.
send me pictures of your dog, and you want to, I don't know.
Maybe come and see the
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and then just make sure that there's extra supports there if, like, she just take the dog and run.
Yeah.
Hey, I
It
had those
is-
socks
it
in
is,
white.
I get
Yeah,
very
I'm
passionate
wearing
because I
them in
just
black
pictured
right
Mrs.
now
Kevin, but now that it's like,
because
could
I
maybe
think all
not
the
be,
whites
which I
are
didn't even think
dirty.
of.
So
It's like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of
Now I
people out
have
there that are like
the black
have
ones
lost a
on.
dog, and then they see dogs that look just like theirs, and they're like,
Yeah.
These ones are a little bit
Like,
small for me. I'm
Max,
not gonna
our
lie.
first family
Kind of
dog,
had these
I feel like his
since I
markings
was
were quite unique.
a
weren't they?
teen.
because he was a mutt. He was like a border
Yeah.
collie.
I thought
that's
they looked comfortable.
other
They
stuff.
are.
If we saw a dog
They're like
that
ankle
looked
socks.
just like Max,
I'm very
with those markings,
sensitive
Yeah,
with
mutts are different.
like,
Mutts, but
it'd be
like
hard.
a
feelings.
purebred,
You're
they
saying
do,
purebred.
They do a lot of them.
You
look
was just a teen.
lot alike.
Shh. Shh.
It says if a dog truly is a well-bred paper.
Yeah, when I was in,
champion
like, middle
dog,
school
it
is what
has
I
DNA
mean.
Or a paper trail with a parent or sibling.
I
having
thought you were
DNA
gonna
or
catch
file
that. I wanted-
available. If the
I
owner
wanted
has
you
any
to.
of the dog's hair or old toys, that has DNA as well. Well, we know her house burned down, so I think what you said is relevant. I think a lot of it might be lost, but I feel like you'd be able to.
My
track everybody
birthday is
that
coming
you
up
work for.
though.
And-
It'll be 2
Yes.
years ago
Damn. Well,
that I was a
shit,
teen.
I don't know.
Retract.
I've cut away parts of my socks on the inside because I'm overseeing it. That's based as hell.
Yeah, just taking a step back and being
That is
like,
based.
okay, I have a
to
dog
be
for 7
honest.
months, and then this lady says this. I'd be investigating more than just saying, no, it's my dog. Especially
I
after he,
assume
like,
you guys
her
are
house burnt down.
I just love how it was like we
I
were
assume
going with
you guys
that,
can
"Am I
hear me
overreacting?"
pretty decent.
Exactly. See, we have to work on it.
We do, but it's more things that we're passionate about. And I don't
I
think
need
that's
another one of
maybe it's still
this.
overreacting. And like obviously I love dogs, love cats, love animals and everything, but I don't have my own dog, so it's like it's hard to.
Yeah, you can't
It's
compare
not-
it to anything.
I can't compare it. Like, and we had family dogs. None of those family dogs, like Charlie, really liked me, but like it was always Dad, right?
Yeah.
That was her. So it's hard. If you ask me stuff about kids, like your own
Sure.
sons or something, I'll probably overreact.
All right, next up we have, am I overreacting? Another overreacting. For refusing to let my husband name our daughter after his best friend. Okay.
Okay, I'll need more context. Let's go.
I don't even
But
want to think
21
how long
female
it's been
gave
since
birth
I was a
to our
teen.
daughter
Let's
3 days
not
ago,
let's not
and
touch on that.
somehow
It's
we're
okay.
Still arguing about her name. I'm writing
Yes.
this while she's asleep because I can't sleep anyway.
I know it's
And I
not
honestly
proper to
don't
ask
even
age,
know
but if it's
I'm
okay,
overreacting
19.
anymore.
No.
My husband, 31 male, has
I am
wanted
not
to
19.
name her Claire for
I am
basically
20.
my entire
I'm
pregnancy.
turning
Okay.
21.
Best friend, girl.
It's
best
it's
friend.
not proper,
Oh,
but it's fine.
I think
Like
it's
I
right.
don't.
Well, I mean,
Is
it's
it girl best friend?
well,
Claire?
it's best friend, and the name's Claire. So I'm assuming. Unless
I'm
it's like a
assuming.
boy named Susan.
If you were to
Claire,
ask
then
my weight,
immediately
then I'd be
I'm
like,
on
what the
your
fuck is
side.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I don't if this is because I've read some of these where it's like a friend passed away or like something.
Yes.
Let's continue. He told
Okay.
me it was the name of one of his closest friends
Unless it was on topic.
who passed away a few
I don't know.
years before we met. Even so, naming
Oh, to be
my
that age
daughter
again. Sometimes 32
after
feels really old. It's
something
not.
I didn't know, and that like
It's
you
literally so young.
We're on a different
I
level
swear.
with not relationship wise. This is it. It's odd. I think it's like a
32 is
sweet
young.
sentiment. Maybe it's innocent and everything, but I think it like I don't think.
I
it's
feel
odd
like
for
40
people to
is
think
a
it's
weird
odd.
stage where it's
She
like
would
you're
be
not
mad
young,
or
but you're
do
not
that.
old.
You know,
Don't think you're
I think
overreacting
she'd
there.
want to give her kid her own identity.
When I think back
So
to teens,
far,
it feels like so long
I'm
ago
with you.
because
I
it was
said,
so
well,
long
almost
ago.
Immediately, not because I dislike the name. I actually think it's pretty, but
Like,
because I wasn't comfortable naming our first
even
child
2
after
years
somebody
feels like a
I never
lot.
met or even heard of
Maybe
until I
not
got
for you.
pregnant.
I don't know.
I figured
I don't
he'd
know
be
how old
disappointed. We'd throw around a bunch of other names.
it takes
and eventually
for it to
we'd find
feel
one
different.
we both liked. That
Yeah.
never happened. That never happened.
Okay.
Every few weeks, he'd bring Claire up again. See,
I can't find this piece,
I'm
guys.
not.
Sometimes we were already talking about names, and sometimes completely out of nowhere. By the end of my pregnancy, I was honestly tired
I'm
of
so
having the same conversation
confused.
over and over. The thing that
I know
bothered
you
me
guys
now
can
isn't even
not
the name.
see,
We've been together
but
for over 5 years.
what if I
married
put
for
a
2, and
flashlight?
somehow I've never heard
Does
this woman's
anyone
name
see
until I was
this
pregnant.
piece?
I've met his parents, his brothers, his
I-
college
I-
friends, people he
it's
knows
somewhere.
forever. He's
It-
known
I literally
forever, and
took it
nobody
off
has
the
ever
other day.
mentioned Claire. This is like, oh god, was this like a fling? Was it not even like this is I hope not, because that's just so weird to name your daughter after like just another
But
woman
no
that
one's
used to be in your life.
talking about her either.
This is so odd. What is happening? I even asked one of his college friends at our baby shower because I thought maybe
I thought I
I'd
renewed
somehow
that.
forgotten
Oops.
hearing about her.
That's
He just
okay.
looked
Thank you,
confused and
Ma.
said he didn't know who I was talking
Love
about.
you.
Then, after our daughter was born, while we were filling out the paperwork, my husband
hard to
asked
do it from the
one
single.
last time if I'd reconsider. You just went through like major hell, and he's like, "Can we name it after?" Listen, I know she's passed away, and that is very sad. That is obviously very sad, and I don't know how she passed away, but regardless. But it's like, dude,
But no one knows
pick
about
Now
it.
you.
your battles. This is not it. This is your daughter. This is a human being you both made, and
It's
like
not.
your pregnant wife who has made your daughter inside of her clearly doesn't like this name. Shut up.
I don't know
It's
how you
one on the bottom.
got married in the first place with
Oh
this.
Technically
type of
guesstimate
behavior.
because the princess
Yeah,
stickers and the
What is
workouts, but I
this?
think
Like,
it's
no.
at least
No.
length
I said no.
where I can
And that's
carry
when he
you.
told me he'd always imagined
But I'm
naming his
6'4".
daughter
It's not
after
too
her.
hard to lift
I
most
asked-
people.
This guy needs to go to
Please don't
therapy.
carry
I
me.
asked why he'd never told
Or
me that
even,
before, and he just
That's
shrugged and said
weird.
he didn't
Why
think
is
it
that the
mattered.
topic?
Clearly it matters. We've argued about it twice since we got home. He keeps saying I'm
Why-
making this into something it isn't. But I just don't understand how somebody
I
can
found the
matter
piece.
enough that you picture
Yeah.
naming your future daughter after
I'm
them.
also
Yet
confused,
somehow
Ma.
they never come up in 5 years together. My mom
I don't know
thinks
what's
I should
going
let him
on.
have the name because it's
I
obviously
don't-
meant something to him for a long
I
time.
don't want you to
Mom,
carry me.
support
No.
your postpartum daughter.
No.
For the love of God.
He's
My
talking
sister
about how
thinks that's
much
exactly
he thinks
why
that I
should.
weigh. He's guesstimating how much I weigh, is what he's saying. And I don't know why that has to go to carrying me. But don't do that. I have a fiance. Leave me alone. I thought you were chill.
Maybe I'm
Don't
just
do
exhausted
that.
because I barely
I don't know
sleep
how
since I
old
gave
you are,
birth,
but
I'm
don't do
so
that.
tired of feeling like I'm missing part of the story. It's gotten to the point where I'm thinking about calling his mom and asking who Claire was because I don't know what else to do. Oh, I would have done that ages ago.
I
Yeah,
would
you
have
should
done
definitely
that
do that.
a long time ago.
It feels
I mean,
it feels completely out of line, but so does finding out about somebody this important while filling out our daughter's birth certificate. Would I be overreacting if I called her? No.
I mean, I have a relationship with my mother-in-law that if it got mentioned once, I'd be like, "Hey, who the is Claire?"
Is Claire? Yeah.
And she would be like, "Yes."
Yeah.
No, you're not overreacting. And if anything, how you have to write this at 3 days postpartum. I'm just
So
thinking about day 3 on postpartum right now.
Yeah.
After I've done it a couple of times. No
Yeah.
wonder it's eating you alive.
No
you
kidding.
Can't think. No, you go and you go name that own baby. You name your baby what you want.
Absolutely.
That's how I
Your
weigh
husband is
people
not
in my
thinking straight.
mind.
No.
Let's not weigh
Yeah, I
people in your
agree.
mind at all.
Comments say no, not.
If you know it's
overreacting.
weird, don't say it
Ask
out
his
loud.
mother about Claire.
Let's
Does he
do
have any
that.
Photos of him and Claire. A group photo.
That's a
from
good
their
idea,
friend
is
group.
to not say it out loud
Overreacting.
if it's not
Tell him
helpful.
to get a fish and name it Claire. The answer is
Thank
no.
you.
You've been saying no for months, and if he's never mentioned her to anyone before now, I almost guarantee you it was some type of hidden romance thing.
Yeah.
I know that would make me
That would
sick if
irk
we find
me.
that out, because I think there's an update and he wants to name his daughter after
That's
a
gross.
lover.
Get out of here.
Divorce.
Get out of here.
Literal
Honestly,
divorce.
though,
No, like
I would
literally.
never stop thinking about that, and I would probably be
No.
like, "Just get out of my life. I don't want you around."
We'll just get right into the update. It's after 2 days. I wasn't expecting to update this 2 days later, but a lot has happened really fast. First, thanks to everyone who commented. A bunch of you told me to talk to my mother-in-law because she'd probably know the answer. I went back and forth on it for a while because it felt weird to go around my husband like that, but eventually I did call her. She asked if I wanted to meet for coffee the next morning. So I did. Oh my God. She wanted to meet for coffee? Oh my God, what's happening? I honestly thought I was going to leave feeling embarrassed. I figured she'd tell me Claire really was just a close friend, and I'd realize I'd let myself get carried away because I'm exhausted and emotional and just had a baby. The first thing she asked me was what my husband had already told me about Claire. I said that she'd been his best friend, and he wanted to name our daughter after her. She just kind of looked at me for a second. You're not ready for this.
No.
Then she told me they'd been engaged.
Oh.
Been engaged. Who?
Oh.
That is what? Why would you want to name your daughter? First of all, lied to your wife about a person you were engaged with, and then you want to name your poor little daughter after a woman. She passed
After
away.
your
Very sad
dead
about your
fiance?
dead lover, fiance, and you are lying to your wife about it. This would be a whole different story if he was honest about, like, oh, you know, this is a person I used to be with. She got in a car accident or whatever happened, and like this has been a thing for 5 years. I read a story like that where it's like the wife knew that the husband like had it was like a best friend, and she died in a horrible way, and he always talked about her, and she's like, actually, you know what, that is sweet. This is like lies. This is tainted with this, like, it just feels weird. It's icky.
It feels weird.
It's icky.
Like, why do you want to look at your daughter and say that name when it was your lover / fiance that has passed on?
Oh my God. But
I go then, sorry
I
again.
just can't believe he lied about
Just
being
don't do it.
engaged to his wife.
It's-
That's
I
crazy.
would actually, I'd divorce him. I don't think I could get that.
It'll
for
be
that.
None of the
okay if you
families said
just
none of
stop.
the families. This is insane. The more we talked, the more names came up. His parents knew, his brother knew, and one of his old roommates knew because they lived together at the time. Funny enough, it was the same friend who'd I'd asked at the baby shower. No one had told me anything. Dump this whole family. Move across
Get
the
out.
country.
Get out.
Oh my God. Apparently, most people just knew he'd been dating someone who got sick. His mom told me Claire was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer not long after they started dating, which is horrible. Very
Awful.
sad.
This
Things
is not
moved
on Claire.
fast. Yeah, no, this is not about Claire. This is about the
No.
piece of shit
Weirdo.
who lied. Things moved fast after that because they knew they probably didn't have years together, so he proposed. she died not long after, she also told me she assumed I'd known all about this for years. When we got engaged, she thought he'd already told me. Same thing when we got married. Same thing when I got pregnant. I call bullshit, but maybe I'm just looking to point fingers. No, there's no way this couldn't come up. There's no way.
We're talking. No, like I'm actually saying divorce.
No, like,
because
actually.
if you can't,
Why
What else is
wouldn't
he
they
gonna
know?
assume
I
that
would never
you would
be able to
know?
look at my husband the same again if
No.
that was just that. Like what?
It's
and
like-
then.
Like,
my
what's wrong?
mother-in-law and father-in-law would have told me. So
Yeah,
it's just like, just get out of there.
But that's not even
And
like
I'm
a
so
bad
sorry.
thing. Like, I don't understand why he lied about it. Like, it's just like, oh, this thing happened and it was awful, and I want to share it with you because you're my future wife, and this is like that's honestly, you know, that's a beautiful story about you falling in love with somebody and then them getting sick. And I mean, it's horrible. It's heart-wrenching.
Beautiful
but-
story.
Yes, but then, like
Why-
you said, what else are you hiding then?
Yeah.
If you can't be upfront with this.
Oh my gosh. I drove home after that and just waited for him to get back from work because there wasn't any chance I was going to act like everything was normal. I confronted him that night and it went awful. Truly, he acted like an entirely different person. At first, he wanted to know why I'd gone to see his mom. Then it became that I had no right to dig into his past. Then it became that Claire had nothing to do with our marriage. Then it was that I'd betrayed his trust by involving his family. It just kept changing. Yeah, because he's a lying piece of shit he's projecting onto you. I'd answer one thing and we'd somehow end up arguing about something else. I asked him when he planned on telling me he'd been engaged because we'd already been together for over 5 years, married for 2, and now we had a daughter. He said he always meant to tell me, but he didn't. He never fucking told me, and I'm so angry at how selfish it was. I packed a bag that night and went to my sister's house with the baby. Before people assume we're getting divorced, that's not why I left. I still love this man, and we have a child together. I couldn't imagine raising her split into households. I left because we were both angry, and I could tell the argument wasn't going anywhere. My sister's been helping with the baby. Yesterday, she realized I hadn't eaten since breakfast and practically shoved a sandwich into my hands because I'd completely forgotten. This whole thing has been exhausting and I haven't slept at all. A few people asked about the birth certificate. The hospital told us we had time to finish the paperwork after we left, so we weren't forced to pick a name before going home. We obviously aren't going to leave it forever, but right now,
I
neither
need
of us
this
is in
thing
a
to be
position to make a
one
decision. My
one
sister
thing
started
longer.
calling her Ellie because she said she felt weird saying the baby.
Oh, they're
all
spicy.
all the time.
The be resub.
And somewhere over
Hi.
the last day, I've started doing it too. I don't know if that's going to end up being her name, but it's a good working filler while the shitstorm is going on. My husband has been calling and texting since I left.
I don't know
He
if you
wants to
saw
see our
spicy,
daughter,
but I
and
made
we've
someone
that happen
leave.
because none of this has anything to do with her. Whatever is going on between us, she's still our daughter and he loves her. I don't want people getting the idea that I'm trying to keep her away from him because I'm not. Who cares? I don't care. You should.
I don't care.
He's a
Been
piece of
here
shit.
for
He deserves
over an
it.
hour
Baby.
lurking.
That's
Well,
my baby.
hi.
Just wanting to- are you kidding me? I wouldn't judge you for that. I've seen a lot of
You
comments
made
saying
someone
the
what?
real issue is
Leave.
that he loved someone
Leave
before
the
me. It really
stream.
isn't. If he told me about Claire years ago, I
Hi.
don't think we'd be here. I would have felt awful for him. I probably would have cried hearing what happened, but I wouldn't have held it against him. What really hurts is the lies and the manipulation. But then again, can you even call it lying? It's not like I ever asked him. It's
Why?
not even
That's
violation.
mean.
It's just-
No.
Don't defend him.
Because they were
That's what it
talking
was
about how
always.
much they think that I weighed
Okay,
based
now
off
she's like,
of my streams.
all happened.
And I was like, don't
Most
do that.
vulnerable stage of her
Hormones
life.
are crazy.
Crazy. She's going off.
They were like, oh, I know it's rude to ask, but like, how old are you? I was like, no, it's on topic. It's okay. And I'm comfortable with sharing. So I told them. And then they're just like, and I'm like, but if you ask for my weight, like, then I'd be weirded out. And they're like, well, I can guesstimate because I think I can carry you, so I don't think you're that heavy. And I'm like, don't say that. Let's not say that. Maybe let's keep it in our brain. If we think that, let's not say that. Or even think it at all would be good. But sometimes
Survival.
intrusive
instinct.
thoughts.
She's thinking about her daughter. She doesn't want her daughter
So,
to live in 2 households.
I said, let's not say that, and he said,
I
okay,
can't
fine.
Imagine having the feeling of like,
So,
oh my gosh, I'm gonna
he's
have
gone
to
now.
split time with my kids.
I'm so confused. This is one
What?
off.
Like, I would do everything I could to avoid that because
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to miss any part of my kid's life. So I don't want to share. I would just want to be together all in one. So I get where she's like, I think she's trying to make it okay for everybody else, so it makes it okay for her
Yeah.
to go back with him. But it's just like,
No, but now she's blaming herself now. She's like, it's not like I ever asked him, oh, were you married before? Because who the hell asked that? Who the hell doesn't say like, oh yeah, I was engaged. I was engaged before. That's very relevant. Instead, I found out because he wanted our daughter to have her name. And then I found out from his mother. No, you found out because he lied. He said it was a friend. He said he was a friend.
He
or
said
she
it
was
was
a
a
friend. And
yeah.
his entire family lied to you. Literally
Yeah.
lied to you. And because
What?
that friend lied to you after you asked him who that person was. That's the part I can't look past. I look back on
No.
other posts and it feels like it was written by someone else. 2 days ago, I thought we were arguing about a name. God, I was so naive. I suppose question has turned into, would I be overreacting to leave him over this? I'm certainly mad, but I don't think we're to that point yet and don't want that for my baby either. Anyway, that's where things are. Thank you all so much for the support.
It'd just be really
All right.
hard, I think, to get
I'm
to a
stupid. I
place
don't know
back with your husband.
why
being
I
like, you feel so
like to
like,
do
you
things
trust
one
them, you know what
off.
I mean? Like with no
Yeah.
trust.
But
I'm
we
like,
fixed
I'm
it.
not attracted. Kind
No.
of thing.
This happens every single
Not
time I do it
attracted
like a
at
build,
all.
by the way.
And I get with the whole kid.
That's
like,
strange.
you
Yeah.
want- I get
Yeah.
like putting in all of your effort to try to make it work.
So,
for the
Spicy,
kid.
in case
I
you
get
didn't
that.
know,
I
For
get
sure.
that.
Don't
It
do that.
changes when you have a kid, for sure.
What environment are you gonna put that kid in if you stay, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would need to go to like couples counseling. He would need to go to his
Yeah.
own counseling, like for me to make
ooh,
this
brown.
work at
Yeah.
all.
Well, and I get marriages ebbs and flows, but this wasn't like an ebb and flow situation. This was like
Lying for years.
yeah, this was a situation that he brought in.
Yeah.
that,
And
ugh.
he did lie
Anyway.
because you said that you never asked if he was married. You asked who Claire was and he lied. He was
He
or
straight
he was
up lied.
engaged. You
Yeah.
said it was a friend. So yeah, you did ask and then he lied. So
You're not overreacting.
no, if I was
Not
in
at
this
all.
situation, yeah, I would be like, I don't know, I would really reconsider my entire relationship. That is so
I'd
crazy.
be taking my baby. We would not be in. No, I'd take my baby somewhere else
yeah, for a while. Like he would
for a
have
good
to.
while.
I don't even know, because I wouldn't even trust the family, and that's supposed to be your second support system.
And with all those lies, I don't know how this stuff works, but with all those lies, I would try to like say to a lawyer like supervise visits only with my little baby girl. Like
Yeah, that's
no,
wild.
you become a like, especially as a mom. It's like it's so funny because I've always had such a hard time in life saying no to things, and then you become a mom and you're like,
Yeah,
no,
easy now,
no,
hard pass.
no,
Mm.
no. Like it's just.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Sorry we
That
didn't have
really
any
frickin' sucks.
positive ones.
That's all right. So
Sorry.
do we overreact? Maybe.
Yeah.
I would
probably.
never ask that, don't worry.
It's
Thank
my
you.
channel and we can do what we want. So, and you can react however you want. Let us know what
Yeah.
you guys think down below. If we're overreacting, let us know. Just kidding. Please don't. Just kidding. You can. I don't care.
You can.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you saw the thumbnail and the title, you'd know that I'm not doing this video alone, and we have a very special guest. Flew them in all the way from Canada. She is the OG, the one and only, the person who made me my mommy, okay?
My
Pretty
mommy.
good rhyming. Yay!
Me
Round
and
of
Taco. This is me and
applause.
Taco. This is us.
Yay! Yes, there we go. You guys loved her so much in the other video. I just had to fly her. I'm just kidding. We just went to my little sister's wedding, and my mother and father had a layover in Dallas, which is not too far away from me, and I forced them to stay. So
forced.
only for this video, and then they're leaving.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Also not true.
Yeah. No, I just said, hey, why don't you stay? Because they just had a layover, and they're like, yeah, okay. We have good sound this time, good
Yay.
video, and we're
Yay.
reading Reddit, and I chose creepy
Aw.
encounters.
I love my Chris.
Well,
I
you
love
like that.
call me Chris.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm sure I will.
because you like
We
true crime.
love.
I do.
She's the reason I do anything true
I know.
crime.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I don't think of true crime.
We
as
love.
necessarily creepy, but I suppose it's creepy.
Hey, look at it. It's more like really fun and lighthearted.
Well,
Excuse me.
will Jay edit that out?
What my
Yeah.
son is?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe he'll leave him in and be rude. Maybe he'll leave him in and be rude.
Maybe he'll leave him in, be rude.
He left them in. I know he did. There you go.
A little bit.
Both glasses. Can you do a Chris reads screens? But could you change it to Chris and Kara reads screens?
Gather around, because now it's time for Chris and Kara read screens.
First one is I didn't order pizza. This happened quite a while ago when I was home alone with just my dog. After all this time, I'm sure what happened was really strange, and I have no
They actually
idea
are
what this
creepy
man
encounters.
actually
Oh
wanted.
no.
So I was watching TV one night at about 11 p.m. when I heard a car pull up outside and an engine shut off. I figured,
Sorry. Be quiet.
Hell
oh
no.
my god, what happened next? I do this all day. It's really funny. It's
Sorry.
just like
I'm
having
so sorry.
myself
It's like, oh,
having all of me.
okay, I'll try to be quiet
No,
till
it's
the end.
fine. It's just really funny. I figured it was obviously a neighbor, but Nosy Dog wanted to have a look and went to the window. He kind of messed up the blinds when he went to look, so I got up to fix them. When I did, I noticed a parked car on the street across from my house and my neighbor's house. I couldn't. Am I boring you already?
No, I just felt my watch buzz, and I'm not used to that.
Are we done yet?
We just started.
I couldn't really make out any details, but it looked like the driver was still sitting in the car. I didn't really think anything of it. I got a drink and went back to watching TV. Quite a while had passed since I fixed the blinds, but I'm not sure how long. I guessed 15 to 20 minutes. Out of nowhere, I thought I heard a tapping at the door. Not a knock.
Oh hell
It was
no.
much lighter and very quiet.
Mm-mm.
That's creepy. I don't like that. My dog had sat up to look at the door, and I paused the TV when the same tapping then started on
No.
the window. I opened the
No.
blinds a little and saw a
No.
man standing there. I couldn't make out his
No.
face properly, and he immediately walked back to the door and started tapping it again.
No.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
terrible.
This doesn't sound very frightening. What? That sounds horrifying.
Mhm.
What?
Ah.
And I'm not sure why, but I suddenly had a really awful feeling. I felt absolutely terrified and had no idea why. The tapping at the door never stopped, but something in my head was saying if I opened the door to him, then something really bad would happen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is a man because a woman would be horrified
Yeah, I'd be
immediately.
calling 911.
It doesn't
by now.
say, but
Okay,
or I don't
okay.
think it said. I went upstairs to open a window to ask what he wanted. I mean, I would call the cops, but okay. It felt safer doing this. He said in a really quiet voice he was delivering pizza and told me how much it cost. I felt so stupid for being
No.
frightened and told him I didn't order pizza. I guess he was speaking quietly and knocking lightly so he didn't disturb my neighbors. My dog had followed me upstairs and was letting out an odd growl and bark, which really isn't unusual for him. I was trying to shush him when the man downstairs told me he had the correct address and better get downstairs now and open the door to pay what I owed and collect my food before it got cold. I was really confused because I most definitely didn't order any food and began telling him that again when I noticed he didn't have a pizza. So he noticed that he didn't actually have a pizza in his hand. He wasn't carrying anything at all. I told him again that he had the wrong address and he got really angry. He kept telling me to open the door. He was going between angry and sort of trying to persuade me to go back downstairs. I asked him where the pizza was. He said he had hold of it. It was really dark, but he definitely didn't have anything in his hands. My dog was really making quite a bit of a fuss at this point, and the stranger had turned into a broken record. Come downstairs, open the door. Come downstairs, open the door. All the noise
Hell
must have
no.
alerted my neighbor, who did open his front door. And the man didn't say a word,
No.
but practically ran across the street to the car that I had heard pull up a while ago.
That's good.
He went back to the car empty-handed. I have no idea what he wanted, but certainly wasn't a delivery driver. It really freaked me out as well that my dog is quite obviously a large breed, and the man saw him through the window, but he wasn't deterred at all. No, that's like, yeah, that's
I
weird.
see.
It seems even stranger and less random that he actually drove to my house as though he planned on showing up.
Well, I'd really like to know if it's a man or a woman, because that
I don't think
changes
we
the
will.
whole scene.
I don't know. Maybe it's a woman. Maybe she's just like unbothered. I don't think it's wrong what he or she did, because like you only want to call the cops if it's like an emergency. But this, I feel like by the
That's an
time
emergency.
I went upstairs and talked to this person, and they're like, "Come downstairs," I'd be like, I would threaten to call the cops immediately. I'm
Well,
like, I'm gonna
that
call
would
the
be my
cops.
first thing. Is if you don't get off my property, I'm calling 911.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what the issue
I
is.
mean, I'm glad they never opened the front door, but
No, I mean that's a good choice, but
yeah, that's what the police are there for sure. But that's creepy. I think he was definitely there to do something.
also I don't like the idea of going upstairs and then being trapped upstairs. If he somehow got in, I would want an escape.
Yeah, like
route.
break through a window or something.
Yeah, so I don't like that either. So I think I would have just yelled through the door, "Please leave my premises.
Mhm.
You have the wrong address. I'm
Yeah.
calling 911.
Yeah.
If you're not off my property in 30 seconds, police are coming.
I'd be like, is it Domino's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Depends on the
I
type
mean,
of pizza. Okay.
yeah.
Pizza Hut, you
Yeah.
stay outside.
No, that's creepy. That's for sure.
Yeah. And for the guy that is delivering pizza, I feel like if he's doing a ruse like that, he should at least have a pizza box.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
I'm glad he
not-
didn't.
That is not legitimate.
Because if he had a pizza box, I'd be more inclined to open the door. I'd be like, oh, which is bad.
It is bad.
But
You
but
shouldn't
no,
do
I
that.
wouldn't because I didn't order pizza. I wouldn't open the door because I didn't order
I don't
pizza.
think so.
Well, hopefully he's not watching this because then he's just like writing it down. Just like, okay,
Mhm.
next time I'll
Next
pizza
time I'll
box.
have a pizza box.
Comments say, this doesn't sound very frightening, quote unquote. Listen, if someone was tapping on my door late at night and moved to the window and then to the back door, it wouldn't matter if I had spoken to them or not. I would be terrified.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fair.
good.
Another person said, I hate
Yes.
to be an alarmist, but this person could be somebody who has been watching you and might continue to do so. Please consider taking precautions. If you're comfortable. Yeah, I would definitely report it also.
Yes.
I don't know why they
Yeah.
talked to
Yeah, 'cause
them.
it could be happening to other people.
Try to see the make of
in
the car
area
and everything.
or yeah.
If you're comfortable carrying weapons, please do so. Check your vehicles, maybe even install cameras, that type of thing. Trust your gut on this one. OP answered that and he said it was roughly 2.5 years ago. Should have included that in the story. So less worried about it now.
Going
but I was
solo.
really
Thank you for the
comfortable
lurk.
ages after that.
I
Hello.
would be too.
That one's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty creepy.
Well, nice that the neighbor opened their door to see what was going on because some
Yeah.
people just want to like emote. So
Yeah.
that's good.
I'd be scared if my neighbor did. I'd be like, go back inside. I feel like nobody's ever like knocked on our door. That's creepy.
Well, I mean, I had that incident in the parking lot. That was creepy.
Which one?
When that man followed me around the mall and then
Oh,
followed me
right.
up to my car.
Were any of us with you?
No,
No,
this
it's
was
just you.
before children.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm.
What did you do?
I started honking my horn and
Oh, was it in a car
Scary.
park or a parking lot?
no, it was in a huge parking
Got
lot.
back.
But he, pressed himself up against my window. And
Really?
tried to hit me.
I don't
Yeah.
think you ever told me this.
Oh yeah, I know. I still know his name too. I
What's
won't
his
say
name?
it.
So you knew him.
They caught him. I was working at McDonald's at the time, so I guess I was 18.
McDonald's.
And he came into my McDonald's, and I ran
Getting
to the back
hungry.
because I recognized him immediately because he followed me
From
around the
that
mall
other
for
time.
from the other time. So this was like months later. But anyways, and the police came and they took him away, and I watched him go away, and he just smiled at me in the back of the cop car.
Did he go to
was
the? Where did he go?
Yeah, I had to go give a statement and everything, and I felt foolish. It's like, well, he didn't do that much. He just kind of like,
Yeah.
dropped his pants and pressed himself up against my window. But I mean, I
What?
couldn't get to me.
This.
I don't know. It's not a very good thing.
No. No. Yeah.
Anyways.
Report it though. Jeez.
Yeah.
What a
anyways.
freak.
And then he
No.
sent letters to Grammy's real estate office.
Wow.
Yeah, saying, claiming his innocence, that he didn't do anything
No.
shady and whatnot. And yeah, it was a bit of
That's
an ordeal.
insane.
Mhm.
I didn't know you had that. I didn't know that happened. That's insane.
Mm.
All right, next up we have I think I found a hidden camera in my friend's bathroom.
Okay, that's very strange.
Very, very creepy. I'm staying at my friend's house for the weekend to spend time with him while he's back from college. He currently lives with his family, mom, dad, and younger sister. While I was using the bathroom, I looked over to the
Oh,
right
no,
and noticed
not
a
the
black
younger
square
sister.
adapter plugged into the wall facing me directly. I looked closer and noticed a black hole in the middle, kind of looking like a camera. I don't know if it's exactly a camera or just a small hidden LED light to show if something is charging. I then noticed it was connected to a cord, leading it to what looks like a white charging block, but I honestly don't know what it could be. Lol. If it's a camera, it definitely caught me staring at it and taking photos, so I'm a bit nervous. Plus, I'm a female. It's scary to think someone could be recording me and could be posting it online for money. I know he's not the type of person to stalk on somebody, but also he hasn't even been home for that long, so I think it might be his father's.
I was just gonna say
I would-
that.
I
It's like,
would
well,
assume
this
the
isn't his
father.
own residence.
I really hope it's not, but I would immediately assume it's the dad's. I want to bring it up and ask about it, but I want to make sure that I'm not overreacting. I have photos of the adapter. If anyone is interested in helping, I'll gladly send photos to help. The adapter looks exactly like this one I found on the website. There's an update, so I'm
Oh,
going to read
good,
that right away.
good.
All right. Wow, I was not expecting this much help. Currently still here at his house and waiting for the roommate to pick me up to take me home. I currently don't have a car. If I did, I'd be gone by now. She's aware of the situation and is just as interested as me and scared. I do have one issue. When I woke up to use the bathroom,
it's a
I
girl.
passed by the father/mother's room and noticed what looked like a frantically thrown around room with cords all over the bed. I may be overlooking, and this could be someone looking for their charger, but again, I felt it was important to say this. To answer some questions, yes, the back of the adapter had a weird set of numbers with power adapter model S3 on top of it. When I put those words on Google, it did come up as a recommended search for a camera. So again, I don't know if I'm just overlooking everything simply because I'm paranoid, but if any of you saw that and know what it means, please let me know. Thank you. Another question, misunderstanding. It was in the bathroom facing directly to the side of me, but did show the whole shower. Meaning, if this is a camera, it's been recording people taking showers, not just taking shits. Some back info on the family. My friend that I've known for a long time is fully gay, and there's mostly women in this house all of the time when my friend isn't here in college, unless he's snooping on his father, but I really doubt it. But I honestly think it's more likely the father. He does give me weird vibes. And as for the younger sister, I think she's 15, so if this is a camera, I would be infuriated. Oh my gosh. Yes, because I was recorded, but the moment I see others were, especially the younger sister, I won't be able to shut my mouth when it comes to confrontation. And yes, the family knew ahead of time I was visiting, if this helps. I don't have an Android phone, but my mom does, so I'll probably use hers and see if I can detect the camera. Lastly, when I took the adapter, I also took the cords connected to it and the white block connected to the cord. Oh, so she took the cord, so that's why he's looking for cords.
Yes, nice. Nice.
Oh.
That is so incredibly
I think
creepy.
I would have, said at dinner that day or something, like in front of the mom and everybody. This is gonna sound really strange, but I feel like there's a camera in the bathroom, just like
I don't I don't know.
throw them under the bus.
That's
no, I
bold.
wouldn't do that because there's been moments. There was actually just recently a TikToker who came out, or she made a TikTok about finding out that her husband was a person who liked kids too much, and she made a TikTok, and then I believe it was that night or the next day he killed her.
Well, I was thinking that when I was saying that out loud.
It's okay. No, yeah,
Providing that
it's
there was some
you
kind
just
of
feel like, oh, you're disgusting, but it's like you don't know who he is or what he's capable of.
but maybe as you're going out the door to your Uber or whatever, it's like, by the way, I think there's a camera in the bathroom. You might want to check on that.
Yeah, I would like.
Maybe it's a maintenance worker. I don't know, but I'm just letting you all know.
Yeah.
Everybody who lives in this household, I believe there's a camera in the bathroom.
Yeah, I would definitely let everyone.
And my Uber's here.
I would definitely let everyone in the house know besides the dad. Well, also, we don't know the step, but his mom's probably the dad.
No, but I just say it in front of everybody.
I think I would take pictures. I would cover it up in some way. I would take the cords just like she did. And then if he was like, where's the
I know, but
cords
he's
to
just
this?
going to replace them.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I would tell the other family members, and then I would go to the cops.
Yes, I was just going to say, I don't know. I wonder if the cops would do anything and do kind of a check.
Well, I mean,
hopefully
yeah.
they would, because there could be a lot of victims, right? Who knows how many house guests they have?
I feel like
Be
it's good
awful.
she took photos. It's good she took the cords. I would even take the camera if I could. I would just take it, and I would go to the cops and be like, this was in the bathroom. You take photos
Yeah, that's
of
a
it in
good
the
idea.
bathroom.
That's a good idea.
And so the camera's not there anymore. And then I would just go immediately to the cops.
Because that's just a temporary fix.
And then
until
the
he
cops
does it
could
again.
go.
Yeah.
And then that camera would have, I don't know where the recordings go. They probably go to like a different device. So they could corner the dad. Well, he might delete it by then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I
could
don't know
call
what
the
it
cops
is,
to
but
do
I
a
don't
What
wellness
you could
check.
do- So, if
Yeah.
like you said, I think that's a great idea, Christina. If you took some of the equipment, went to the police, this is what I found in this bathroom. I'm really concerned for people going into this home.
Yeah.
And then that's all you can do.
That's
right?
all you can do. Yeah, but I would not confront him because he could
Yeah,
be super
sorry.
volatile.
Retract,
No, it's okay.
retract,
You're just being like,
retract.
it's fine. There's an update. 2, I finally left, and guys, it's a f***ing camera. I took off the sticker on the back of the adapter, and there's a f***ing SD card here. Oh, so there's an SD. Oh, so you have the SD card. That's
Beautiful.
good.
That's beautiful. You
Wow.
can take that to the
Wait.
police.
She linked something, but it's not there anymore. Here's a pic of, I'm assuming, the SD card. When I popped out the SD card, there's a written on it. It's 32 gigabytes as well. I'm freaked out. I'm freaking out. I told my friend, and he's just in so much distress. He's actually scared. I told him everything, including how I posted on Reddit. Him and his mother want to see what's on it and take it to the police.
So it's the dad.
Yeah.
It ain't the 15-year-old
No.
girl. I'm telling you right now.
Another update. This one goes on
I
for a while.
love the update.
Hey everyone, I'm sorry for the late reply, but I have some important info. So yes, we found proof of it being a camera and saw the footage on the camera with the SD reader you plug into your phone. I told my friend, and he decided to tell his mother to ask on what to do, and she was completely distraught. She immediately contacted a friend who happens to be a lawyer, smart,
Nice.
for some advice, and she
Yeah.
she advised we take it to authorities and we were planning to. While browsing the footage, we noticed it wasn't anything too revealing, and yes, I know it's still illegal to record anyone without their permission and knowledge, but it still helped us deal with everything a bit better. My friend decided to confront his father about it, but he admits a friend from his job loaned it to him a year ago, but quickly quit the company after suing the company after an injury and fleeing the country after receiving his money.
That's just bullshit.
What does that even mean?
Sorry, can I say that?
Yeah. Now we're currently trying to find proof that this exchange ever happened, and it could
Whatever.
actually be this man knowingly gave an older man with a younger daughter and son a hidden camera to capture them and maybe sell them online. Allegedly, in theory, don't come for me. Now, as for what's on the card, was over 70 videos, different amounts of footage and folders. Only one folder had the videos, but there was a WhatsApp folder that was empty, which was weird. I'm sure that he deleted stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it was black, just showing the candle burning all day, but it did capture people using the bathroom. I tried to keep updating as I go, but it's a lot to uncover for me. I'm still in denial about this, so I'm just going on my own pace as well as my friend's family. My friend said his dad was really upset once he told his daughter, wife,
Y'all
and
hear
son
that?
was possibly recorded, so I don't know. Take that as you will. What a
Jingling.
Yeah.
freak. What a gross freak.
You would like to hope that there's some explanation, but I'm not convinced.
No, I don't
No,
even understand
that sounds like a
explanation.
cover, and now this person is just not available at all. It's just
Yeah,
Bye,
it's
Pedro.
suspicious.
My boy
Well, I think
Gibby.
they handled it right.
yeah, they did.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. If I found a camera and then. Yeah. My God.
He's over there.
Yeah. Comment says, I had a similar situation once. You can
He
figure out the
left.
brand, and if it's a Wi-Fi enabled cam, you can access it yourself through an app. That way you can verify what's in it. Oh, that's good to know. Another comment says, okay, so my old boss had one of these plugged in at my work in a random wall outlet, and we all found it and retrieved the footage. We saw someone in his household changing for the shower on it, as it had previously been plugged into his bathroom at home. Confronted him about it anonymously and freaked out, saying he was just testing it to make sure it
Oh,
worked.
come on.
Definitely super creepy though, and looked exactly like what you have found.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
sick
buy
and
with him.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's wild. I think he handled it well.
I don't know if I would have knee jerked or not. Maybe I don't know.
Knee-jerked? Like
Said,
did what you
hey,
say.
what's going on
Yeah.
in here?
Yeah,
I mean,
I probably would have
the
to my
appropriate-
friend.
Yeah, the
I would've been
appropriate
like,
thing
hey,
would have.
what is this? Like, it kind of looks like a camera. And then I would have consulted them on what they wanted to do because it's their house and their family.
But yeah, she was smart because just taking part of the equipment and then catching them by surprise.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Mm-hmm. Let's read another one. 3 young teens came to my door to escape. Okay. This just happened about 15 minutes ago and was one of the weirdest encounters I've ever had.
She's writing about
Yeah.
15 minutes in.
Oh my God, that's
Sorry.
crazy. Let me
I
tell the whole
interjected.
internet.
I'm like,
Some people got to write it out. My
Okay.
family and I, 22 female, were sitting in our living room watching TV after dinner. All of a sudden, there's an unexpected knock at the front door. I go to open it, and there are 3 young teens, sophomores in high school, that I don't know. They tell me that a few guys are following them and they needed to look like they knew someone. Wait, okay, before we
they-
go any further, I'm assuming they're girls.
Yeah, that's what my question
Would
was.
you let them in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I probably
Because
wouldn't
growing
hesitate.
up, we used to be block parents. Do
Mhm.
you remember block parents? There was a sign.
Yeah, like
like come on to our house if you feel unsafe.
Yeah,
Block parents.
yeah.
So like all
like
down your
neighborhood watch
street.
type thing.
Yeah, but it was called block parents.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, that became popular if I remember correctly, like in the 70s and what.
Yeah.
So I would. So
Yeah,
I would, 'cause
especially
I
at
grew
that
up with
age. At that age, I'd be a little bit more wary if they were like adult women because a lot of no, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are like ruses where women will go to a door or they're like pretend to be something's happening to them on the road, and then the guy comes out. But that I feel like
probably
that's
wouldn't
so
have been
uncommon.
that. I probably wouldn't be that smart in the
If
moment.
a woman or a girl is in trouble, I'd probably just be like,
immediately.
"Get in here!"
I know it's a good ruse because I would actually let
know.
a woman or a young
Or another one
teenagers.
is people leave baby carriers on the side of the road to get people to stop. That's the thing that happened. There was like a person that was doing
wow.
that, and then I believe they were killing them or doing something bad to them. Anyway, you don't want to assume
yeah,
that.
you
but
just always have to be hyper vigilant.
I feel like people can read the situation and trust their
Yeah.
gut. Anyway, so I told them immediately to come inside to evade the people following them. The teens told me it was 3 younger boys, probably about 8th grade, that had been following them as they walked about a mile from a gas station nearby to my neighborhood. I went outside to try to see if I saw the boys, and sure enough, they were just down the street. When I stepped outside, they yelled, "Lacey, is that you?" I didn't answer, but went inside and asked if any of the girls seeking refuge were named Lacey. None were. My dad then went outside to tell the boys to move along, and they got super mouthy and rude. Eventually, they went up the street out of sight. However, they came back down a few minutes later, so I opened the door and yelled for them to leave, but they argued with me and wouldn't go anywhere. My dad went back outside, and a neighbor heard the yelling and came to see what was happening. With the threat of 2 grown men, the boys finally left, not without some lip though. I then drove the 3 teen girls back to one of their houses so they could evade the boys and get back home
What?
safely.
Nice.
This
Something
makes no
was really
sense.
weird about the interactions with the young boys. I don't know what they were looking to do or if they were just looking for trouble, but something did not sit right with me. Just glad the 3
Okay,
teens
hold
felt
up.
my house was a safe place
It
to go.
says
Oh, that's good.
this is supposed to go on
Even
here.
if they're in 8th grade, what is that? That's 14.
Oh, they can
14-year-old boys can be
they
like,
can commit some horrendous crimes.
and they have.
Then you
Yeah,
turn
They
it
have girls, and yeah, I mean,
around.
they could be like easily overpowered because that's
Then
what only like a year
this
older, sophomore. Is that? I
Yeah,
don't know.
well, and
goes on
especially
the
if there's
back
3 of them,
like
they could
this.
do a lot of harm. You know what? I would open my
And
door
then-
for 3
Mhm.
young teenage girls. There's no question.
You're
there.
supposed to
Mhm.
You know, I'd
turn
take a
it
peek
so
around
this
and
is
I-
on
again,
this
I would have
side.
said to the boys, "You
And then
don't care, I'm
somehow-
calling the police."
Yeah, again, yeah.
And I
just
might
use
even
the
take a
police.
picture.
You're supposed to be
Because,
able
what if
to
they did something in
have
the
this
future and it's like,
gray part go
Mhm.
next
you know,
to it.
some other girls got accosted or something.
Yeah,
What?
You'd have a
just even
picture of it.
report
If
on
you
them.
had the wherewithal.
Am I
to think of doing
stupid?
that,
Yeah,
take a
yeah, it's
picture
hard to
of
think
them.
of that in the, or at least get like.
But that would be
You
good.
could describe them or something.
Yeah.
Comments say, I'm impressed with you and your family that you were a refuge for those girls. I
Mhm.
always hope in that situation I would be, but truthfully, I'm so anxious I would be worried it was some kind of scheme or something nefarious. OP said, well, thank you, but it was quite obvious these girls just needed some help. They would have been quite the actresses if anything else. Yeah, that's fair.
And good on the young girls for approaching the house.
I know, because that's scary too. To be like, oh, I
But-
don't know what house to go up to. Like, it could be just like a man that answers the door, and it's like, is this any better? I don't really know. That's scary, but that's
Yeah.
good. A man was arrested for stalking my family, and his reason for it surprised even the cops. Okay. This happened in the winter when I was 10. I was walking to the bus stop by myself, and out of nowhere, this red car drove past by me and stopped. I walked by it, and a man yelled, "Hey, kid!" I turned and saw the guy. He was in his early 20s. He motioned for me to come, but I stood still. He then said, "I saw you coming out of the 355 Terrace Road. Was that man your dad?" I had no idea how this person knew where I lived, and I got so creeped out that I ran. I glanced back, and I was so surprised to see that he wasn't following me. That night, I was finishing up some homework where I had to track the phases of the moon. I went to my window, and I was shocked to see the same red car parked across the street. I quickly ran to my parents sobbing, and I explained
What?
everything to them. I didn't say anything earlier in fear of getting in trouble. Oh, always tell your parents.
Always tell
Anything
your
that
parents.
creeps you out, you're not
Yeah.
going to get in trouble.
No.
It's okay.
Even if you did something wrong, tell them.
My dad called the cops,
Nice, Dad.
and they arrested the man on the spot. My parents went outside to see what the hell was going on, and the dumbstruck cop explained the bizarre story the man had told them. The guy was a rookie PI that was hired by a wife who suspected her husband was having an affair whenever he visited the city we lived in. The husband gave his wife our address and told her he
Gotta
was staying with a friend. When the
work
police
to figure
showed
this
my
out.
parents the picture of the husband, they both laughed. The man didn't even look remotely like my dad. The only thing they had in common was their dark hair and light skin. The PI was sobbing in the cop car, and my dad didn't press charges because he felt bad. Wait, what?
So, did he have the wrong address? Is that what I'm picking up?
I guess. The husband gave his wife our address. So, okay. He must have just given them the wrong address.
That's-
or the
that-
wife the wrong. Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm
gotcha,
thinking.
gotcha.
That's what I'm
He
thinking.
gave a wife a fake address,
Yeah.
which was their address.
That
I
makes
guess.
sense.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of funny. Thank God it wasn't like
This-
some murderer weirdo
Mhm.
family annihilator guy.
Yeah, because he would never be comfortable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wonder how many
This-
PIs just get that kind of treatment because they're like on random
well, I
streets.
deal with PIs.
I know.
very
Yeah, she sends
regularly,
out
so-
PIs for the
Yeah, it
jobs she
happens.
does.
To
Yeah.
It
turn it
happens.
Where they're like, "Who's this
this
suspicious
way,
person on,
so
like on my
this
street
piece
corner?"
is
Yeah,
there.
most of them are pretty good.
Then-
Doesn't happen too often, but it does
Oh.
happen.
We'll do one more. The policeman who
Do
thought he was escorting me
this
home
on.
to my empty
doesn't
house
say 2
at
times.
17 years old. So there's a
Okay.
lot missing here.
There's
Yeah,
no
there
2
is.
times.
So my friend and I are underaged, a little buzzed from party hopping all
anything.
night. We roll up to
So
Wendy's
how?
and ditch the empty bottles of Smirnoff Ice as we wait for our food
How
at
does
2
this
a.m. in the
work?
drive-thru.
As one would.
As you do. Don't
I need to
underage
figure
drink.
this
I
out.
had no
I don't-
idea that it was illegal to be out past a certain time if you're under 18, unsupervised, and it's past 12 p.m. in Arizona. Or 12 a.m., I'm assuming.
That's a
they
good
mean.
rule.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens after that.
Nope. I catch a text from a friend and she asked me to get her order, and we will meet at the intersection and she'll eat with us. Okay, sounds chill enough. I get to the intersection and there aren't any gas stations or grocery stores, just some creepy office buildings and a dirt lot. I stupidly pick the dirt lot to wait for my friend who calls me and is like, hey, I am at the intersection, are you okay? I'm like, oh, I see you. And she's like, is that you with the cops behind you? And I was like, no, only to discover that in fact cops were behind me. Luckily, the car teamed like food and not, I don't know what that means.
Maybe there's a spelling error.
Yeah, luckily the car something like food and not booze and cigarettes. But this cop.
Oh, that was coming to pick them up. Maybe the car smelled like food and not cigarettes and booze.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's what that's what they mean. But this cop
I am
knew I was
asking
under the influence and
the
had a large
fiancé
bottle of
for help.
rum that had already been opened that I tried
If he
desperately
doesn't
to
have an
hide under
answer,
the shit from my car before he knocked on the window.
I'm
He's not
lost.
stupid, and it's Arizona. No one gets away with a DUI in Tent City Central. This cop asked me and my friend for our parents' phone numbers. My friend's mom gets a call to come pick her up and gets a verbal lashing from the cop about being underage past curfew and explains the citation, so I already knew what was coming. I, however, didn't have a voicemail set up on my new Nokia Fat phone and refused to give my parents' house phone back when these were still everywhere. I had a Nokia cell phone as well, and we had landlines. I told him they simply didn't have one, only a cell number, and I put it to silent as he repeatedly called. Okay, so you gave him your phone number, put your phone on silent, and then he was calling your
Kinda
phone
smart.
because you didn't have a voicemail. You shouldn't be drinking underage
No,
and driving.
but I don't encourage that.
But yeah, it was kind of smart.
Kind of smart.
I tell him they are probably out with friends themselves, and the cops say, okay. Explains the ticket to me. I think I'm gonna get away scot-free when he says he's going to follow me home. I made sure to go the speed limit and not make any errors, but I'm shitting myself right now. I parked my car out front of my house, and my parents' cars are in the closed garage. Dark house, I'm like, yes, it looks like no one's home. The cop proceeded to park his car and says, hey, you could have broke the rules a little with getting home. I wasn't going to pull you over twice now. Funny cop, I guess. As he followed me to the front door. I unlock it and I nervously said, thank you, but he, instead of ringing the doorbell or doing their famous police officer knock, follows me into my house and locks the door behind us. He's talking to me, making small conversation, checking out my living room, and I'm starting to freeze up.
He
because I'm
cannot do
suddenly
that.
sensing a different energy from him.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe he's not a cop. Crisscross. I didn't expect this. He asked me where my bedroom is. He tells me to take him to it, and instead took him into my parents' room and turned on the light 100%, thankful to see my sleepy-eyed parents, shocked to see an armed grown man behind their young daughter. Oh, you're a girl. I didn't even know you were a girl.
Oh, I assumed she was a girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I assumed it was a guy. And he just lets out a breath and says, in my ear, you lied to me, sweetheart.
Ew.
Wait.
This is a bad movie.
I'm getting chills everywhere
This
right
is
now.
a bad
And he goes
movie.
back into the police mode, telling my parents that he found me out at an illegal time and that I needed to pay a fine and attend a class.
No.
It was so embarrassing because I was 18 by the time I had to take the class with a bunch of 12 to 14-year-olds. Anyway, I never tell anyone until now about the comments he made to me, but my dad did ask him why he was in our house. I told him I didn't understand that either. He never read me any rights. He just followed me home. Before he leaves, he says, that's a nice house phone you have right there. Looks new and shiny, because you said you didn't have a house phone. As the last thing he tells me before letting me go. I can't help but think back to that night and thinking about what would have happened if I had bad parents who weren't home or were out of town, etc. I mean, they wouldn't be bad parents if they were gone. But I know what you mean. I know there are good cops out there. I personally know some. I go back and forth with being freaked out / okay, maybe he was just being thorough. The comments are what stuck with me, though, and that sinking gut feeling.
So he must have legitimately been a police officer.
Oh yeah, he was,
if she-
because he was able to give a ticket and make
But he
her
was
go to
a
classes.
bad First of all, he should not have entered the home. I mean, I don't know.
Oh.
There should be a consent thing around that. I'm thinking. I don't know, state to state. And
Yeah, I don't know, because I was in this same situation.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to learn something right now?
Maybe. I feel like I've told you this.
Mm.
But I was coming home from a friend's house at like 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Sophia's. And I had walked all the way there from our Robson house.
Why?
Oh, yeah. It was a long
Anyways.
walk. How long is that? That's like miles.
No, it might be 3 miles.
3 miles. I was walking home, and black car. I feel like I've told this story on my channel, whatever. A black car was following me. A blackout car. It wasn't a cop car, or didn't look like a cop car. And I started sprinting down the street, and then I sprinted to somebody's backyard in the bushes, and there was a dog chained up in the backyard. So I sprinted out of the bushes and into a different corner.
Sound familiar?
And then I was like, oh, okay, he's gone. But then the cop came around the corner. It was a cop.
I thought you were sneaking
And he put
out.
on his lights. So I thought it was this like person just following me the whole time. He put on his lights. I was like, oh, it's a cop. And I was like kind of relieved, but I was also like, he's going to take me back
He probably
home.
thought, yeah.
And then
Maybe you're stealing something.
he was like, what are you doing out? And I was just like, I'm just coming back from a friend's house. I didn't say I snuck out or whatever. I was just like, yeah, I'm just, walking back from a friend's house. I didn't have a ride, whatever. And he's like, okay, well, get in the back of the car. I'll drive you home. And I was like, what am I going to say no to a cop? I think I was like 16, maybe 15, 16.
Oh, yeah.
So I looked in the back of his car. It was like the plastic seats, like a cop car with the
I know, but
cage.
there can be, like, there's...
Let me tell the story. I got in the back of the car. It was like plastic seats. He had the,
Oh my
the
God.
cage thing. I closed the door and I was like, oh my God, I could die. He's going to take me away. I'm going to die. But he had the cop uniform on and everything. He drives me over to the street. I was like, it's on Robson Street. I'll direct you over to it. And then he's like, okay, where's your house? And I went like 5 houses down from our house. And he dropped me off at that house. And he's like, okay, I'll watch you go inside. And I was like, okay.
What did you do?
I walked up to the house and knocked on the door. And I was just waiting for it to open. And I was like, I have to go in the backyard because they're not home. So I went into these people's backyard and waited for him to leave.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I waited for him to leave, and then I went back to our house down the block, and then I snuck through the basement window into my room.
As you did, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Thank God that cop didn't follow me into that house.
Well, and thank goodness it was. I mean, most cops are good. There's some bad cops, of course. There's some bad
No, he seemed
everything.
pretty nice. He was like, I'll give you a ride home. Like,
Wow.
but he wasn't gonna say like, yeah, he's not like, I gotta talk to your parents. He just dropped me off.
Yeah,
he was
just
nice.
being- Oh.
I was like, thank you.
See, I only heard parts of this story, and I thought you were sneaking out and you got caught. I didn't realize you were walking back at
I was
the
walking
wee hours
back.
of the morning.
Yeah. And I
Well,
feel like
now who's the bad
they're-
parent? You just thought you would get in that much trouble from it coming back from Sophia's? Like, I mean, the hour is not good, but yeah.
she's playing so dumb right now. I
Well,
would have
maybe-
been
yes.
under the house.
Yes.
6 feet under
However,
the house.
however,
She found
tell
out.
your listeners it's always the best course of action.
Yes, it's better to get a ride home. Don't walk outside at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
in the nighttime
gosh.
because something bad could have happened.
That's right. So always tell your parents, even if you get in a bit of trouble, they'll get over it.
They will. Yeah, you will get over it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
They-
better to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the thing that I always say to you before you left anywhere and to all of your siblings? Make good.
Don't make me look bad. Just kidding. Make good choices.
I was going to say, that's terrible.
Don't make me look bad.
That's terrible. No, you always know it's make good choices.
Mm-hmm.
This was not a good choice.
Yeah. I didn't really
Anyways,
remember
I'm glad
that.
you're safe.
Yeah, everything was fine. Anyway, thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any creepy encounter stories or any crazy stories.
These are
I will
this
read
one,
the comments.
and this
And
is
I just
this
realized
one.
you did not get a compliment in the beginning of the
Those-
video.
Oh.
So give them a compliment.
Me?
That's
Yes, put on the
Oh
spot.
my
this.
goodness. You look so radiant
Not
today
this.
and
Those are not
glowy
the same.
and
Like you just went for a 10-mile run.
yeah, just like my
Barely
my
broke a sweat.
kind of damp hair still.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You have radiant, glowy, damp, wet, oily hair.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, bye. Bye.
Thanks. Sorry, I'm having a hard time looking at you because your looks are so intimidating. Oh my God, I can't even make eye contact with you. Oh my God, you're over there too. All right, fellas and fellettes, we are reading Reddit, but we're reading creepy encounters today. It's gonna get a little spooky, a little uncomfortable. Kind of like how you feel when you go to that creepy uncle's house.
What am I doing
So
wrong?
let's get into
Step number 1. This piece that
it.
matches
Old
this
lady begged me for
part
a ride,
that
and it
matches
felt
this part.
off. So basically, I live in PA, and
That's
it's
the right
completely
angle.
buried in snow right now. I have an interview tomorrow, so I spent
That's
3
what it's
hours
supposed to
shoveling
look
my car out.
right there.
Finally, my car is free, warmed up,
Right
I'm
there.
dressed, and I figure I might
Right
as
there.
well just go to CVS now since I'll have to go tomorrow anyway. It's about 15 minutes away, a 20-minute drive. When I get
Step
there, there's
2,
this old lady
which is
just
probably the
standing
part
at the
that I'm
entrance,
confused about
staring at me.
this.
I brush it off and go inside. I
On
come
top
back,
of here,
and she's
on
gone.
top
I
of
get in
here,
my
the
car,
back,
close the
the
door,
back.
and within seconds, she's knocking on
This?
my window. I roll it down all the way.
What?
Right there,
I mean, okay. I mean, it's an old lady.
right?
You know, the alarm bells probably aren't ringing. My mom later told me never to do that again, lol, and ask what's up. There we go. All right, mom knows. She asks where the closest store is. I tell her there's one behind her. She says no, the other one. I suggest the flea market across the street. She says no, the other one.
But
Then it
this
hits
step,
me. She wants Price Chopper.
it
a
looks
10-minute
like
drive. She asks, can you give me a
there's
ride?
supposed to
I
be
keep calling my
another
daughter, but she's
spot
not
right
answering.
here.
Ooh.
Somewhere here. But there's
This is
not.
tough. It's just an old
And
lady.
I'm
Like, you wouldn't
confused.
think anything of it, but giving any stranger
This-
a ride is so
This part?
just
this
scary.
part.
It shouldn't be scary, but it is.
That's
and
where
you
that
always got to
is.
think that that person's a murderer, basically.
But
I
does
asked
this
how she
need
got
to be
here.
that?
Ooh, good
Because
question.
that's not possible.
Good question. She says she walked. I asked from where. She says she lives in the same community as me, 15 miles away. Ooh, in freezing snow. Some doesn't add up. True. I suggest she take an Uber. Yeah, if anything, I would call her an Uber. I would help her out at least like that if she didn't know how to do that. She says she doesn't like Ubers because they take too long. She insists again, it's just
I got a
down the street,
picture
even
of
though it's
him
not.
showing
At this
me
point, my brain is going crazy. Part
which
of me
piece
thinks,
is
what
which
if I give her a
piece.
ride and
Yes,
it's a good
I know,
deed that
but
pays
I'm
off somehow? But
confused.
the other part is screaming that anything could happen in that car. She could kidnap me, rob me, or worse. Yeah, we also don't know how old she is. Like, what does this girl think old is? Like, is it like a 40-year-old lady? Or is it like an 80-year-old lady? Because there's a big difference there. I tell her I can't. I'm in a rush. She begs a little more, tells sob stories, but I stand my ground. Eventually, she walks off. And here's the weird part. She didn't ask a single other person for a ride. She waited for me to get to my car. When I started driving off, I could see her head
Can I
following my
look this
car
up?
in the mirrors. I'm 18, okay?
I've
or
been stuck on
young,
this for like
young
30
black
minutes.
woman who doesn't look my age at all. A lot of people think I'm 15. Oh my gosh.
What's it
I
called?
almost let peer pressure get me because I'm scared to say no to strangers for some reason. I'm glad I trusted my gut. Maybe it was just an old lady who needed help. It doesn't matter. You are not obligated to help anyone. Is that a bad thing to say? Maybe. But like in those situations where your gut is, usually right. So I'm so glad you trusted your gut. You thought on your feet. You used really good deduction skills, asking her where she came from, that it's snowing, like it's really weird story, doesn't add up. You did everything right, and thank goodness, because you don't know. Anything could have happened. And I have the feeling that this woman
Boy
was
Gibby,
maybe in her 50s or
he's
something.
not
It
eating
just
or
says old
stepping on
lady,
any of
so
the
maybe
Lego.
50s or 60s or something. A woman that could have done something, especially for you to feel like that. I feel like, oh, you just never know, right? And she could have an accomplice. Like somebody could be somewhere. You get into the car, they could follow you. There's so many things, and that happens. Also, there's like instances where there's accomplices, like a woman tries to get into your car, or she tries to get you into her car, and there ends up being a guy. It's just, you're better off. I'm so glad you did that. Comment says, it can be hard to say no to strangers. I get it. I think it's much better that you listen to your gut instinct, and also it gave you good practice. There were other people to help and a warm building to go into, so she was safe. Maybe she planned on robbing you, and you were the youngest looking customer, and so she guessed you would be the most gullible. Probably. Something like that. Maybe. Usually when you have a weird feeling, there's something to it. Well, I think there always is. We just might not always know what it is that made us feel that way, but yeah, good job. I'm glad you said no, even though it felt uncomfortable. It's better to feel uncomfortable than to be robbed, kidnapped, murdered. Take the uncomfortable route, and you don't need to make anybody else comfortable. Absolutely. All right. Let's move on. All right, next one is my neighbor is getting creepy. So some time ago, the woman who lived a few houses down fell down the stairs and died. After that, her family inherited the house. The woman's daughter is a cat hoarder, and her granddaughter is autistic. We are not sure how old the autistic girl is. She may be anywhere between 15 and 25. So the cats are an issue because the mom just lets them run free and shit everywhere, but that is the least of my concerns at the moment. When they first moved in, my husband had his first encounter with the autistic neighbor. She ran up to him and hugged him while crying, saying she was sad. He asked her if she needed help, and she started talking about something totally unrelated. He understood that she had some kind of learning disability and continued on his walk with his dog. This is the only encounter he had until today, which we will get to in a moment after some more background information. I ran into her next when she came and slapped me in the head. I told her, "Do not touch me," in a very serious tone. She backed off and I was defensive. In a standing my ground kind of way, not aggressive on my side. I'm sorry, autistic or not, no one is going going to slap me, so I wasn't going to back off and have her do it again. I contacted her mother about this, and she said she was sorry and explained her daughter was autistic. Look, I have had contact with other neurodivergent people and have never gotten a weird vibe from them. This girl gave me weird vibes since the slapping. The next time I ran into her was when I was walking my friend down to her car around 3 a.m. We have 2 doors where we live, a door inside and a security gate outside. The space between the doors is enough for you to stand between them in an uncomfortable manner. As I was walking my friend down, she noticed her standing there between the doors in the dark with her hair kind of covering her face and staring at the wall. Oh my goodness. She mentions that was creepy as fuck, which I agreed to, and we both hurried to get away from what was happening. I work nights, so I started to see her out at like 1 or 3 a.m. frequently because I take my dog down to pee when I'm done working. Once I saw her trying to open a car and she started hiding behind the car and watching me. Okay. We need to talk to her mom, or just like, I feel like she needs help in some way. I think she thought I couldn't see her, but I was watching her out of the corner of my eye. Then another time I walked my dog down and saw her doing the creepy door stare thing. I wasn't really watching her this time because I thought she was locked in. So when I walked back up to the house, I didn't know she had gotten out and was hiding behind a car again. She started running after me saying, hey, come here. I ran. I, in fact, did not want to find out what she wanted. I was able to get into my house in time and basically shut the door in her face. This last thing happened to me maybe like a week ago. That's when I told my husband that she was creeping me out. I said she appeared to be harmful. I actually feel threatened by her. Keep in mind, my husband has had no contact with her since the first time with the crying. He told me maybe I was being paranoid and she's just a little girl with a problem. Then I felt bad about it. She keeps coming around the house. I got really sick about 6 months ago and had to go to the hospital ASAP. My husband wasn't home and I couldn't take my kid to the ER and keep an eye on him while I was having an asthma attack. He's 10. It's legal to leave kids that age alone at home here. It was an emergency. I gave him a phone to call me if anything transpired. He called me. He said the girl was outside banging on the door and ringing the doorbell while she's taking my shoes and wearing them around the front yard, grabbing everything. So I'm actively low on oxygen while my kid is being
It wants me to
harassed
put
at the house. I
another
told him to make
one
sure
of
the door
these
has the
on.
deadbolt on it
Oh
and to
my
not
God.
open it. After I made sure he was safe, I wrote in the neighborhood chat and basically said, get your kid off my property. I'm at the hospital and she's trying to get in with my child inside. She left. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't even die in peace. I got nebulized with antibiotics and went home. After this, she started coming over to wear my shoes while she went around the neighborhood. Yesterday, she came to my house again. I noticed because the shoes were moved. I have since installed a camera. I went and looked back at the video. She
I
started to
finally
get the
figured it
steering
out.
wheel I
Hi,
had outside
Wendy.
and took off with my shoes again. I told her mom again. This time I said, I don't know if you know, but your child is out between 1 or 3 a.m. roaming the street, and she's also coming and using my shoes, which are a personal item. Please keep an eye on her. She could get hurt playing with tile. It's dangerous. What is this mom doing?
Are you
For real,
Lego
what is happening right
feisty
now? Like, I think
Latina?
police should be called
What?
at some point. I mean, that's really scary with your kid at home and her like coming over. And I mean, she's already hit you. And I mean, I totally understand that people have disabilities and it's extremely hard, but you also need to be cognizant of other people around you and make sure that they're not harassing or hurting other people. That is your responsibility. So this is starting to get a little scary. Today is when the really creepy stuff happened. Okay, we're not even in the creepy stuff yet. So we had a food delivery man arrive. My husband opened the door and greeted him. She just walks up from around the corner of the car while holding some food by 2 fingers. She walks right past the delivery man and starts to come inside my house. My husband blocks the door with his body and she's trying to get by aggressively, going left to right, trying to get around him. The delivery man is just looking at us shocked. My husband is saying bye to her various times. She's not leaving. She starts sniffing him, like close to him. She hands him the food various times until he takes it, then starts asking, what are you going to name it? He says, I don't know. And then she starts backing off, but not before growling in the delivery man's face, right in his grill, while making like a twisted face. So my husband has not met the side of this girl. I'm wondering if it's some kind of other mental disorder or possession at this point. Okay, let's, back off a bit. I know it's mean, but honestly, this was scary. It was like something that would happen in The Conjuring. I mean, she clearly has something cognitively going on, and she needs better help. Like she needs proper help, and she's not getting it clearly right now. I haven't said anything to the mom. Why? You need to. I don't know if we should report this. I don't know if it would matter if she
I
came
finally
here. I
did
think she's
it. I'm
playing
probably gonna
along
have to
by
find these
acting like a
pieces
child,
again,
but
which I
really
have
is a
no
bad
idea where the
person.
pieces
She's
are.
obviously stalking the house
So.
because she tried to get in to get
good.
my kid. I'm so glad he called me and didn't open the door. I feel bad for leaving him. My husband agreed with me today that there's something seriously wrong with her. The mom doesn't seem to care. Ugh, what would you do? I feel like at this point, like, authorities need to be involved, because at this point, like, she's in danger, the girl, because if she's not all there, she doesn't, like, know what she's doing to, you know, we only know so much. I don't know, but I feel like she needs to be taken away from her mom, because her mom does not seem to care about her the way she should be caring about her, and that's really sad. And it's really scary that you guys are scared to even, like, go outside your house because you don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, you already got assaulted. I don't know.
Yep,
This
I
is a
need the
really
same
tough one.
pieces
I
that
feel
I
like
had trouble
getting the
finding.
authorities involved would be good for every single party involved, because she really needs better help. But let's see what the comments say. First comment says, and stop leaving your shoes outside. I'm surprised she's even bringing them back. Also, tell the mom if she comes to your home again, you'll get a restraining order. OP said, I have thought about this, but all my life I have had shoes outside to wear something if I need to get delivery, take the dog down to pee, or etc. You can just leave the shoes at the other side of the door. You don't need to leave them outside. That is really weird. This is my house, so I'm reluctant to change something I have had all my life. I understand that. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about somebody coming and stealing your shoes on a regular basis, obviously. But it's also like, if that was happening to me, I'd be like, I'm just gonna leave my shoes inside because it doesn't change my life that much. That makes sense. You might want to contact a non-emergency number for your local police and explain you don't want to press charges. You just feel like there needs to be a way to address this behavior. Yeah, that is a good idea. It's possible the woman hoarding cats isn't watching her daughter properly. Whether she's autistic or has a learning disability or mental illness, she can't show up banging on a door or borrowing shoes. I wonder if you are the only neighbor dealing with this. The granddaughter is slapping and hugging people that are strangers to her. She is out at all hours. That is fine if she isn't harassing anyone. You are scared. Who is to say the next person won't treat her as a threat or see her vulnerability and use that to take advantage of her? Unfortunately, incredibly true that happens way more than you think, and it's incredibly sad. Maybe talk to other neighbors. There might be social services available for adults or the cats, autism or not. This person might not be getting the help to adjust to life. Their mother might need help too. Totally true. I don't think you are wrong for calling this attention or being freaked out by this behavior. Yeah, OP said, I know the other neighbors are annoyed by the stray cats now. No one has mentioned the child, so I'm unsure. Another comment said, call the cops the next time you see her out at 1 a.m. or alone at all, because it's not safe for you or her. Yeah, also because you don't know how old she is, like 15 to 25. Like, she could be a minor just out at night and something really bad could happen to her, even if she wasn't a minor, you know? So I feel like that's the best thing you could do. But what do you guys think? This is a really tough situation, but I feel like I would be compelled to get professionals to come and help and see what's going on inside the house. And I don't know, I would just be too worried. But yeah, let's move on. Have you ever been suspicious of a coworker? Yes. Let's read yours first, and then maybe I'll tell mine. I work for a delivery company in the Midwest, a very well-known one. I've worked here for about a decade, and so has this coworker I'm suspicious of. Let's call him Bill. Buffalo Bill. Just kidding, it just says Bill. Bill started about a month after me at our local branch of said delivery company. Bill is your average-looking 50-something-year-old white guy. He's never been married, no kids, no real close friends. He moved back here to our small town in the Midwest after a career as a long-haul trucker. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Just kidding. But also not. This is his hometown. He's been all over the country, essentially drifting from place to place whenever he'd find a new driving job somewhere else: Seattle, Chicago, San Francisco, Atlanta, and more. In his own words, I just pack up everything I own in my car and leave when I'm sick of whatever town. Fair enough. I imagine it's quite hard to maintain friendships and everything when you're a long-haul trucker, so I feel like, and even family and stuff, so I feel like that's not too crazy. When he first started, another coworker and I would joke about how he fit the profile of a serial killer. Pretty much. Yeah, almost too well. We were just messing around, but it didn't really help that he purposely moved into the absolute shadiest part of our town, and that he brought and converted an old abandoned banking building into his new home. This quickly turned into jokes about him locking people in the vault, of course. Okay. Hilarious. Yeah, okay. Bill was a little creepy, could be quick to temper, and had noticeably poor hygiene. Despite that, he was overall affable and got along with pretty much everyone. He and I have had long conversations and surprisingly a lot in common. I thought he was a bit quirky, but no red flags yet.
Oh,
That
girl.
changed around year 2 working with him. Bill came to work very irate one day, exploding on our manager seemingly at random over a minor inconvenience we face every day in our profession, right in the middle of our morning briefing. I thought maybe he just had a bad morning. The next day he comes to work and I immediately notice 3 very deep, long scratch marks down his arm. I research too much. True crime, guys. That seems like somebody scratched him in defense or something. Could be wrong, but I'm scared, okay? The kind of nasty wound that makes you wince just looking at it. I asked him what happened and he just brushed it off with a laugh and said a lady friend got too excited. That's the 3rd, 4th, 5th red flag for me. I shot a glance at a coworker I usually joke with, and he was similarly intrigued. Bill wasn't exactly a ladies' man, from what he told us, but we didn't know him that well. Maybe he just had a wild, spicy life he just didn't talk about. I joked with my coworker, we better go check that vault, and we both laughed. Other than that, things carried on as normal. A few months go by, and again, Bill comes to work with this over-the-top, gigantic bruise on his face. It was gnarly, like you'd expect after going around with Tyson or something. Again, I inquired what happened, and this time his explanation was that, I kid you not, an opossum got into his house, got into his bathtub, and he fell on his face trying to run it off with a broom. He really thought that one out. He's like, oh, I gotta think of a real excuse this time. I know. Something that would never happen. Needless to say, I wasn't buying it. This time, when I talked to my coworker about it, I wasn't really joking anymore. My coworker said he's just a reckless drunk and probably did just fall on his face while he was wasted. I wasn't so sure, but again, things carried on as normal. The next incident took place a few years later, after our workplace was under evaluation, and if things didn't go well, the whole building risked outsourcing. We were all understandably worried, and Bill comes up to me as I was talking to a coworker about our worries and says, well, if you ever need more money, you could always sell that pretty little daughter of yours.
What?
Jail? And he starts chuckling. I laugh it off before looking at my coworker in shock and disgust when Bill walked away. I was like, what the fuck was that? Was that supposed to be funny? My daughter was 8 years old at the time. I never even discussed her with Bill. I quickly realized he had been my friend on Facebook.
Oh.
So don't share your fucking kids on social media, people. Now, I was filled with dread at the sudden realization that I essentially gave this total creep free reign to all of my family photos. And I'm glad she's realizing it now, because you just don't think of that, you know? And I totally understand that. I totally get it. But now, in this day and age, people really just need to be so cognizant of it. Like a fucking creepy 50-year-old just, who knows? Maybe a killer, maybe a, pedo, whatever, could be looking at your kid. Okay? Why would you risk that? I immediately deleted him and kept my distance from him for a while. I never confronted him about it, to be honest, because he's someone who I was legitimately creeped out by at this point. Not exactly the kind of person you want to make enemies with. I mean, I don't know if you have an HR. If you do, you should be sprinting to them right now. But if you don't, this is really tough right now because he's making very inappropriate comments. I mean, if you have a supervisor, even if you don't have an HR, if you have like a manager or supervisor,
have
you should be telling
extras?
them this stuff at this point because that is so off base. A few more months go by, and now he's got a huge gash on his arm that looks very similar to a bite mark. It was big and red and swollen, just nasty looking. I was actively avoiding him at this point, so I didn't really ever get an explanation for this one. Just took notice and grew more concerned. It was at this time that I started checking the news and local missing persons reports. This guy who I joked about fitting the profile, who lived alone and was single, made disgusting comments about kids, keeps coming to work with what I thought could be wounds sustained by someone defending themselves from him. It sounds like it. I brought it up to a few coworkers, asked them what they think, and they all just kind of brushed it off. It's probably nothing. We should mind our own business, etc. Not really knowing what to do next and finding no reports in my area, I eventually just moved on. I would have put in an anonymous tip to the police and say, like, I've noticed this guy keeps showing up to our workplace. He has clear wounds, like he got into a scuffle with somebody. He's made comments that are offhand. There needs to be some sort of like check on him at his home or something. I don't know if that's a thing. Something. So there's at least a report on him or something. I don't know. You can guess where I'm going next. I don't want to, but I got an inkling. that he's guilty of something. A few years later, he comes to work with a new wound. This time, a very swollen lip and a black eye. Looks like someone just kicked his ass. At this time, we start making casual conversation again, just in passing, like you would any coworker. Again, I ask what happened, and he tells me one of his friends was showing him self-defense techniques and got a little too carried away. Another hard-to-believe story. Yeah, I agree. I just didn't know what to do at this point. I checked for local missing people again, found nothing again. He's probably going to other places and getting people, because it would be too obvious probably to get people from where he is locally. Fast forward to today. I see him at work, and now he's got a giant wound on his foot. Another coworker asked him what happened, and he said, I don't want to bore you with the details, and walks
Can you
away. I
find
hadn't
it?
even thought about all this in a long time.
No.
After all, I've never found any troubling reports
neither,
in our
but
area. Maybe my coworker was
I can't
blindsided,
find it
probably not.
either.
Then it dawned on me. It would be just as easy and probably less risky to go to a neighboring city to commit crimes. He was a long haul trucker. Yeah, there's a pretty large city, not even 40 minutes away from us, where people go missing all the time. And you know who goes missing all the time and nobody reports a lot? People who work the streets at night. People that nobody care about, which is horrible. They should be cared about. I mean, it happened with Robert Pickton. He lived like 30 minutes away from us. Horrible serial killer. I did a video on him, and he would pick up ladies of the night and take them back to his farm, kill them, and feed them to his pigs. It's just, and I'm not saying this person's doing this, but it's just like, all these things are adding up to something really scary. And your instinct is correct. I feel like, let's see what the comments say. At first, I was dismissive, yeah, I have crazy injuries all the time too, because I have an 80-pound chocolate lab. Seriously, I'm always covered in bruises and scratches. I look like I fell down a cliff half the time. But yeah, this guy sounds like a creep and a half, and the comment about your kid is enough of a red flag for me. And I'm usually the bleeding heart that says, oh, he's probably just a misunderstood weirdo. Nah, something is off and your gut is gnawing at you. Time to speak up. Agreed. OP says, yeah, I had a St. Bernard and a boxer growing up, and I would play rough with both of them. I would get scratches and bruises, but nothing even close to what he had. There's a group of guys at work who kind of always make gross jokes and try to be edgy and stuff like that. It's not uncommon to hear fetus jokes or jokes about menstrual blood and all kinds of gross shit. I never confronted Bill about it, but I did tell another coworker, and he said that was probably just Bill making a joke in bad taste. I don't know, but it definitely made me rethink how I present myself on social media. You know, if you get anything out of this, I'm really glad.
What's today's video about today?
Your kid is exposed to people.
It's about how I can't find any of the pieces that I need.
I'm glad that you had that realization. That's really important.
And I might rage quit.
Is compelling. Look, he might just be a harmless weirdo, but he also might be
Thinking about it.
In a vault. LOL. Better safe than sorry. He never needs to know who made the report. Exactly. You could possibly just call in an anonymous wellness check.
All right.
That's what I said. And they would randomly turn up at his place. He wouldn't have time to hide anything. Just a thought. OP said, I have coworkers who have given him rides home before. They've been to his house. They've been inside of his house. They said he regularly has guests. It doesn't matter. He showed them around. Nothing suspicious. He doesn't even have a vault. Those were just jokes that we said at the beginning when he first bought the building. Yeah, you know who else had guests all the time? John Wayne Gacy. You know what was under his floorboards? 20 plus boys who he murdered. I get what you're saying, OP, but
I
if
need
it was totally a bank of some kind,
this.
there will be a vault of some kind in or
All
under
of
the building with
these.
cash reserves and deposits, and for the safe deposit boxes,
Need
that
all of
the bank once
these.
had. Where it is depends
All
on
of
the
those
business
black
section,
ones,
but
1,
all
2,
banks
and
have safe
3.
places like that. Yes,
No
you
idea where they
probably
are.
Taken out or converted the area in a wine cellar or something, but
Cannot
that's
find
way
them.
expensive and taken a lot of work. If all of you haven't seen the kind of renovation work that has been done in the building, people taking building supplies in and out, the old vault section removed, and in a construction dumper,
And
then
I
there's
tried
a
to look through the
possibility that it still exists somewhere there. Not being weird, but look at
these
the
other
price of the one in
bags
Cleveland.
that I
He kept
have
3 girls captive for years
that have
and
some
had
black
his own
pieces,
mother
but they don't
over
have
his house.
those.
Exactly. Also, I'm doing a video on that case because it is absolutely insane and horrible. People can manage to keep their public space and their private space completely separate without people knowing. I do think you should report your suspicions. Do it anonymously, but please do it. Thank you! That's how I feel. I'm like, just call. It doesn't hurt anybody. Like, at all. Just call anonymously, give a tip. You have even said that in your own gut something is wrong. Trust your gut, OP. It is your subconscious telling you something that your conscious mind hasn't figured out yet. I believe you because I trusted my own gut and have been proven right too many times not to trust it. Please don't dismiss your feelings about it. Something isn't right. There are too many red flags about this guy. Yeah, and then another one says, definitely go to the police and make a statement. If it's nothing, they'll find that out. But maybe he's been in trouble before and this will give them cause to investigate. Yeah, I don't think there's any sort of update or anything. Oh my God, this was only 5 days ago. But I don't think you're dumb or anything. I'm glad that you shared the story, and I'm so glad that you are now super aware of posting your kid online. And I think you absolutely should trust your gut and go to the police, because worst case, he's actually a psycho,
I found
kidnapper,
one.
murderer, or something like that. I am riddled with true crime brain, so I'm kind of intense. But let me know
But
what
only
you think.
one.
Maybe I'm being too crazy and harsh, but that's kind of what I think. But until next time, I'll see your beautiful face. All right? Say yes. Please be safe out there also. "27 female maid of honor, 27 female to my wedding over a dress." It's weird because it's a maid of honor. You'd think that they would
Just be wearing whatever the bride
choose
wants.
it. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I'm getting married to my fiance, 26 male, come January. It's not ideal with the current global situation. This is in 2020, by the way, since I'm very high risk. But as we've already postponed once and there's no end to COVID in
Oh.
sight, we decided we're going to take the risk and tie the knot in a smaller ceremony with all possible precautions. Now, ever since I got sick, the reason why I'm at high risk, I've always wanted a picturesque wedding. I'm stable, but only looking at another 20 or so years. Okay, sorry, that's terrible. If COVID doesn't get me first. Oh. I like how they're just so. All right. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Usually, you look a little better than this. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's something wrong with my glasses. Oh, that's what it is. Hold on. Hold up. Pause for a moment. There you are. Look at you, you cute little bean. All right, so recently I went to my little baby sister's wedding and it was the most beautiful thing ever. They're adorable. So I thought we'd do a wedding themed Reddit video. And I just came across this Reddit, this subreddit that I've never heard of, and it's called r/wedding shaming. Sign me up, okay? Love shaming people's weddings. I'm just kidding. Obsessed with catching the bouquet. I have an Aunt M, who is a bit of a character. Don't we all have an Aunt M? I'm the Aunt M. Well, maybe not. Actually, let me read this first and then I'll let you know. As the youngest child, all the stories were secondhand. Stole a dinner plate at a restaurant, got mad at Aunt F for going to a baby shower she was invited for, etc. I had very little interaction with her, but I quickly understood that, like the rest of my family, she had quirks. I learned this especially at my sister's wedding. Before that, my mother showed me an old video of her and my dad getting married, and Aunt M had caught the bouquet. A couple of months later, it was my wedding, and she had also been the one to catch it. I couldn't see how she was, but my friends had mentioned she seemed very focused on catching it. So far, I'm with Aunt M. I'm just like, everybody move, okay? One girl joked how aggressive she was, but she wasn't serious when saying that. I didn't think much of it, instead finding it very funny considering her ex-husband was there. That's pretty funny. Looking at the footage, the flowers headed right for her, and she just seemed a little eager is all. Later that year,
I
one of my
need a
sisters got
piece
married. At the reception, my
that's
husband and I
like
were getting a
this,
slice of cake,
but
when I
has
suddenly
the
heard
two
an outpouring
extra
of cheers.
pieces
I turned
right
around
there.
to see Aunt M on the floor grasping a bouquet as she whooped. I had realized they had done the bouquet toss, and once again, it was hers. Curious about why she was sitting out of breath and innocently bemused that this was the third time she got it, I asked my family what happened. Apparent, as soon as the flowers were in the air, Aunt M made a beeline, pushing people out of the way like a linebacker. That's awesome. One woman nearly caught it, but she was shoved out. A friend of the bride, she later asked her, "Who was that old lady? Do you know her? She elbowed me in the boob." If you can't take a hint, don't go for the bouquet, okay? My whole family was mortified as she paraded around with a bundle throughout the night, occasionally leaving it at her table. We couldn't stop muttering about it to each other.
Oh my
Someone
God.
suggested stealing it to give to the girl from earlier, but I don't think that was done. Aunt F
I used
explained
an
to me that
extra
Aunt M
piece.
was always like this during the toss, and doing it for years now. Maybe it's like almost an OCD thing, like it's bad luck if she doesn't catch it, you know? I get that. I get that to a degree. But it's not that serious, and she could let somebody else catch it for sure. She believed catching it would truly increase her chances of getting a man. Okay, well, there you go. She really believed in that thing. You'd think after like the 5th time, she'd be like, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this is something just people do just for funsies or something. Effectively, she was trying to accumulate luck until she finally got her wish. So Aunt M just needs to get married. She needs to find a man. Aunt M just needs to find a man. The rest of the wedding was fine. She left back to her state a few days after, but for weeks, my family still kept bringing it up. I dread the day another relative gets married. I'd look forward to it. And I'd be bringing multiple cameras, okay? Now you need to get the footage and you need to warn the people around to just let her have it. Sounds like... Or someone needs to distract her. She's probably waiting the whole night to do this. Or you could just not have a bouquet toss. I think I've only been to one wedding, and I've been to quite a few weddings where there was a bouquet toss. I feel like it's not as popular now, maybe. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I just haven't been to a lot. Like my sister didn't have that, and I didn't even think of it. But it's a fun little tradition. But somebody's got to distract her. You know what? This is what you gotta do. Next wedding, you need to hire a man. Okay, man around Aunt M's age, somebody she'd like, and he needs to talk to her during the next toss, right? And make sure he's single, like for real. Maybe they'll actually hit it off, you know? Don't tell him why he needs to do this. Just be like, no, you can just be like an actor. It could be like an actor, right? You can hire an actor to do that, and maybe they'll hit it off, and maybe that'll be how she gets to, and if not, it just goes nowhere, and like, yeah, maybe you should do that. Maybe not. Probably not. Probably don't do that. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with solutions, but I think this is kind of funny. First comment says, this is hilarious. Does Aunt M save them? At the next wedding she attends, y'all should have pads and helmets for all the other single ladies trying to catch the bouquet. Yeah, it should be like a football event. That would actually be kind of funny. Or someone assigned to tackle Auntie like a quarterback. That's actually really funny. Oh, or recruit someone to have a pre-planned emergency that requires Auntie's assistance in the ladies' room just as a bouquet toss is happening. No, she's not gonna miss it. Unless somebody's like dying or something, she's not gonna miss that. That's what she looks forward to every wedding. Let me know what you think. Let's move on. I was a +1 at a wedding where the bride kept interrupting people's conversations because they weren't on brand. Oh my God, just enjoy your wedding. Bridezilla, what are you doing? I was a +1 at this
I
wedding
finished
a couple
that
weeks ago, so I didn't really know
after being
anyone
stuck,
there besides my girlfriend.
so I'm done.
Ceremony was nice, and then the cocktail hour was normal, and obviously dinner starts, and everyone is doing what people do at weddings, you know, catching up with relatives they haven't seen in ages. Then the bride starts making the rounds, and at first I genuinely thought that she was just being really attentive host until she stopped at the table next to ours where 2 guys were talking about football and said, smiling the whole time with a really eerie smile, "No sports tonight. Let's keep the conversation about the wedding, okay?" Okay. It was so awkward. Everyone laughed, and the guys laughed too. Then she walked away. About 10 minutes later, she stopped an older couple because they were talking about a cruise they'd just come back from. She actually said, and I'm not kidding, "You'll have plenty of time to talk about holidays later, okay? Today is about us."
What?
Psycho! Psycho! Certified psycho! This is wild. Those poor old people. She was doing it all night, and it was driving me insane to notice how she was sucking away the joy from her own wedding. Someone started to talk about buying a house, and she redirected them. What the fuck did she want them to talk about? Someone was telling a story about work, and she appeared like Voldemort again. My girlfriend started catching up with a cousin she hadn't seen in years, and the bride literally came over and suggested they share their favorite memory of the couple instead. This woman can't be real. Oh, the husband's probably like, "Oh crap, what have I gotten myself into?" Now, he probably knew what he was getting into the whole time. Like, are you actually serious as an adult? What kind of attention seeking is this? It said so much about her as a person, and I was kind of also worried considering my girlfriend is friends with her. Ooh, oh, your girlfriend's friends with her. I hope she said something about it that was like, not like, "Oh, that's just her, you know, she's so silly." I'd be like, "Yeah, I've never seen her do this before, you know." Hopefully she realizes how off-putting and awful that is. And narcissistic. It's so, what strange behavior. These people are real. Like, these people exist, and it is disturbing to me. On the drive home, I asked my girlfriend if I'd imagined the whole thing because it was so weird. She just goes, "Here we go." No, she did this at the engagement party too. I'm honestly left questioning, how is my girlfriend even friends with this lady? Okay, so she kind of brushed it off. You know, it might be one of those things where they've been friends for forever, and it's just like almost an obligatory friendship where it's just like, yeah, it's just how she is, and she doesn't spend a lot of time with her or something. But I don't know. I'd be roles reversed. I'd be questioning if like Caleb had a friend like this, and he was just like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, yeah. It is a big deal. I don't want to spend any time with this person. Comments say this is unhinged.
This
I'm
is
just
how it's
imagining people
looking.
hiding in the toilet so they can ask how
Taking a
little Tana's
picture.
first day of school went without her hearing. That behavior
All
is
right.
so incredibly unhinged. People talk about all sorts of things at weddings. It's how they
Find
connect and find
someone.
commonalities amongst the other guests, some of whom will be complete strangers. This would totally change my opinion on the couple, and I'd likely distance myself after this. Edit OP, I think you need to share your concerns with your partner and find out what they think about this. It's easy for people to just dismiss this. If it was 1 or 2 times, I may have just chalked it up to the bride being too focused on her wedding. But the fact that she did this all night, that says to me there's more going on. Yeah, you know, like I could only understand this if somebody was saying something so incredibly inappropriate and making people feel so uncomfortable or something. Like I'd feel obligated to come up and be like, hey guys, can we just not talk about this? Like, just something inappropriate and disgusting, or I don't know, just yeah. But other than that, like, there's no excuse.
Okay.
Other than that, I just don't. She just wants it to be about her. Not even that. Like, she says the wedding, but she means her and how the wedding went and how she planned it. And
We're gonna read
just needs to
Real
fill up
Wavy
that big ol'
B.
head of hers,
So
you
then,
know? But yeah.
I will see you guys later. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.